Hello, everybody. I realize I should probably get Twitch up so I can see chat. How are you doing today? Welcome to Lost Caravan for the third and final, everybody, final installment
Maybe.
of
Maybe.
this story of the Wildsea. I mean, the triangles will conclude today, but um before we get into all of that, I've got to do just some fun little announcements for us. Hold on 1 second. So tonight and all week, we're raising money to support the Trevor Project here on Lost Caravan, which is the world's largest LGBTQ youth suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization. And we want to make sure that every LGBTQ young person knows that they are not alone. This is very important to everyone in Lost Caravan. All of us have helped and been touched by this in some ways. So we hope you will consider making a donation to help support an amazing cause. Every $10 donated adds your name to a drawing at the end of the stream where we'll be giving away a lot of cool prizes. So get your donations in, y'all.
Nice.
What are those prizes? You may be asking. One is a D20 plushie made by Tessa. Oh, and a set of D20 earrings made by Tessa. I didn't realize Tessa was so crafty. I want to win this. A Lost Caravan coffee cup and a Lost Caravan t-shirt. And something we are all freaking hyped about this week because everybody's finally getting it in the mailbox. Avatar Legends by Magpie Games. Mine delivered to the wrong address, so my dad is mailing it to me, so I still don't have mine, but everyone else does, and I'm just living vicariously through how exciting it is. Oh, David's gonna show off. Oh, man. Oh, look how big that box is! That's what I got too. It was back when I still had money. Anyway. Also, Exalted Funeral is matching whatever we raise in donations. So if you can, please. Players, everybody's showing off. They will, like I said, Exalted Funeral is matching whatever we raise in donations. So if you can please go and support by checking out their massive catalog of indie TTRPGs at exaltedfuneral.com. That's very exciting. Like we said, all week, this donation where these fundraisings are going to be happening. So you can come back on the 19th for Pathfinder 2E hosted by Hooper, D&D 5E on the 20th hosted by Dido, and more Pathfinder 2E hosted by Tessa on the 21st. So it is going to be a good, fun, busy birthday fundraising time. By the way, happy late birthday, Hoop.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. Yes, I think that is it on that sense. I will talk about myself last, so I'm gonna just go by the stream screen here. And David, will you introduce yourself first? Tell people where you're from, what you got going on.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, everybody. My name is David Gillespie. You can find me on pretty much most places at HSC David, because I am normally over at High Shelf Collective, where Taylor, Blair, and I, we do stuff. We do live plays and advice videos on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I put together a podcast. Just super excited to get to play my cactus bro again.
Yeah.
My little Callum, he's back from whatever bowels of the ship that he's been on, and I'm really pumped to see what he been up to while I was snoozing down below. So yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm super excited, of course, to be supporting the Trevor Project. It's a really important charity to me, and I'm just really pumped for the timing of all of this. It feels great.
Yes, Blair, you are next up there. What you got going?
Hi, I'm Blair. _ Canadian Moose all over the place. I'm also at High Shelf Collective, like David said. That's where I'm at most of the time, doing stuff over there. It's a wild and crazy time. I'm also sometimes over here, like I'm gonna be doing some more stuff in the charity birthday month, and then also on Fridays over at 2000 Tales. So yes, I'm very excited to play my little Mothrin again. So yeah, so happy to have round 3 of this.
The third and final. All right, Frank.
I didn't say that. I didn't.
You keep saying final, and it's
We don't
The
believe
triangles.
you.
Next up, circles.
Next up, circles. Oh man, they're terrifying because they have no corners.
There are so many shapes we can go through. This is great. Keep going.
Hi, I'm Frank. Flying on a pig on most platforms. I play games. Most of the time over here. In the near future, I'm hoping to get over on High Shelf. Get in with those cool people. But you know, I have a real life job that doesn't let me play video games or role-playing games online for fun. So we will see. This is, I believe, my last game of the month. We will see what I get into next month, and I'm so excited to be back playing Terran, a literal bag of spiders.
It's great. I love all the spiders. All the spider content here just really makes me happy.
Alrighty, and then let's go over to Lonnie.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Lonnie, or Looney Shies. I am really excited to be playing Shalon for the third time. Somehow she got bumped up from just, regular, normal, just on the ship at all times, so she knows a bunch of things about it, to captain? Who trusted her
Thanks
with
to
that
Quoven.
power? I don't know. Yeah, right.
And the scorpions.
Can finally thank you for that. It worked. The coup that we all that you ignited has Oh, actually, did you see what the new name of the ship is?
No, what's the new name of the ship?
The Scorpion's Tail.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Yes.
Love it. Just a little like domestic terrorism amongst the ship really sends the message.
It's a little domestic terrorism amongst friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations on being captain. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so I will be here for 2 more birthday events and then 1 more just regular Lost Caravan at the tail end of the month. Next thing I'm in is Necrobiotic on the 23rd. And Blair will be there. So that's very exciting. And then I will be DMing my own game on the 25th, Tales from the Loop. Again, we'll see how that goes. It's my first time ever, first time streaming it. But Taylor will be in that, and her character art is already super cute, so I'm so excited. And then the 31st, I have Locus, which is also on here. And also, I am on High Shelf Collective on Sundays for probably next 3 Sundays doing Midway Madness. So very excited for that too.
Yes. Back to kick some ass. And then I'm Taylor, or at _potato_ wherever. I am over on High Shelf Collective running Midway Madness. We have some cyberpunk happening. We have a cyberpunk Mass Effect thing that I am in, all sorts of goodies, bread markets, all sorts of fun things. But when I'm not over there playing things, I'm also over on 2000 Tales Roleplay on YouTube, where we do Big Gay Dice Game every single Tuesday, which is Masks currently, which is very fun. And then on Fridays, where we have Monster of the Week, though this week is the mid-season finale. And then I'll be running a little 4-part cyberpunk mini-series set in a tiny little town in the Appalachia. So we're going to see what the small town vibe is like in the middle of the time of the red. It should be very fun. And then yeah, I'll be back here for Lonnie's Seals from the Loop game. I'm so excited to play my little weirdo, my little alien obsessed weirdo.
Did you choose the rat's name? Is it official?
I forgot to tell you this. So I decided it is the weirdo, right? That's I think the class or the playbook in Tales from the Loop.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the name recommendations, but then also you get your iconic item and it said a pet rat. And I was like, oh my gosh. Then I was sold on it when I looked down, and in the name recommendations for boy names was Nicodemus.
Yes.
So I have Nicodemus the rat.
The fanciest of rats.
Right.
It's like a common name.
Tight.
Huh?
I don't know. But then my head
Bob,
now.
Doug, Nicodemus, what?
Nicodemus, yeah. Well, it was for the weirdo, so they're all
it's-
wild names.
It's a famous Rats of Nim reference.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh.
why there's always a rat named Nicodemus in some piece of media, including anything that I
Gosh.
ever touch.
Yep. Yes, but
Gotcha.
so now my headcanon is because my problem is that my older brother is always in his room working on something. So he works for the Loop. So I'm thinking he started the smart rat tech from the Loop now
I
is,
love
is
it.
the
I love it.
headcanon I'm
Prequel.
I
going
love
with.
it. Yes, yes. Smart rat tech is terrifying tech, and we should all
Yep.
be afraid.
Yep. But I guess with that, we can get on into this. I did see the get out the ears thing come through, and I'm so sorry. I am failing. I do not have wonderful ears like Hoop does. But we will use those villain and hero points to where the the
Yeah, have to hold your hands like
villain
this the whole time.
points will give me
My dice.
just a fun cut to use on anybody at any point in time to make their life a little more difficult. And hero points can give advantage. Well, we'll say like a pool, an advantage pool that y'all can choose to use from at certain points in time. So, but let's get into it. So, last we met like 2 months ago. I really should have like written down something, but I'm gonna do my recaps like I always do, and it's just gonna like come out as it happens. You started. I do have my notes up for last time, so that does help. You did start by going to a very fancy soiree on a sky ship owned by a woman named Camille, who works with a lot of high-end dealers and low down no good thieves to, you know, get artifacts and such and trade those about, and was very interested in your triangles. Because at that point, they're still triangles. But once on board, you met a interesting pair of Celine and Zorfax. I'm still gonna look at his name while I say it. Two adorable little moth people who pretty much told you that this is a relic of their people and something that they have been searching for. And yeah, it serves as a way, because in this world, for those who do not know the Wildsea world, the Wildsea was created by an apocalyptic event called the Verdancy, in which tree and plant life just exploded. So we are currently staying, like, everything is on ships with giant chainsaw blades cutting through the treetops that are now, you know, a mile plus above what would have been the ground. So it is a wild, weird world here. But this item, the Prisme du Soleil, or PDS. Yeah, I was like, as we've been calling it, though I still can't remember that acronym for some reason without saying it out loud. And kind of push that back. Now, they saw when they first found it that it was like hurting the plant life a bit, but apparently there is something about this temple in which it came from that allowed a whole mountain to avoid the verdancy here and actually have land. And so now this little isolated moth community is struggling a little bit with not having the access to the easy water, the materials, the, you know, vegetation, all of these things. And y'all are heading that way, heading to the town of Hollow. What did I say it was, Blair? Hollowood. On the way, though, you did notice you were getting followed by some of the no good low-down thieves that were on this ship. They apparently want what you have and are in hot pursuit. I don't remember which one decided. Was it you, Blair, that decided to look through the telescope at the ship and found that one of them is quite terrifying and magical, and was able to kind of speak to you from a distance? It was very odd, but thankfully, after a little bit of skirmish, y'all did run into some allies that were able to kind of make a little bit of a path or a little of a distraction for your ship to go along. Zorfax did stay with this crew of scavengers that are kind of inhabit the Devil's Backbone, or they are the Devil's Backbone that inhabit this bone field that you found yourselves in. And that's kind of where we left off of you made your way through. You started to, sail through the Wildsea and get closer and closer. By the time the sun was starting to set, you could see the tall shanks sticking out of the rest of the Wildsea. These aren't, some of these tall shanks are literally bunches of trees that are a mile plus higher. These aren't quite that, but they do stand quite high with these kind of twisting branches, and you can see hanging in these like bright pink leaves of kind of these large cherry blossom sakura tree tall shanks here. Little homes and such. You can see some lights are starting to flick on throughout the entire area as you kind of pull into the dock here, which is down at the base of these tall shanks. Before we really get into that all, curious, Quilbin, what do you think? So I will say that there was just the quick party, and then it's kind of been you've been sailing for a day or more. The previous captain, Kalanch, is still on the ship, though is just doing pretty much whatever she wants. Is kind of a deckhand of sorts.
It's smart.
But
Position of
yeah.
power.
Yeah. So what do you think over the last couple of days while this potential meeting and then stealing and running away has been happening?
Oh man, I think that maybe Quilbin and the former captain have been like busy with a project down
Okay.
below the ship. And
like it.
maybe this has been a chance for Quilbin to like get to know him on a non-captainy level, right?
Mhm.
Which probably is helpful because Quilbin really didn't like him as a captain, but meeting him as a non-captain probably feels pretty good.
Right.
And so I think that if we could be spending our time, maybe that's a little bit of an excuse of where we both have been.
Yeah.
There's been some like major repair or overhaul that we've been having to do, kind of while all the fun stuff's been going on up on deck.
Yeah. Y'all had hoped you're gonna have some downtime, maybe, work on some of the chains and such, and then now we've
Sure.
kind of had to do that in between these jaunts. And
Some random tuning fork that's like really super important to the functioning of the ship.
Yeah,
It's like,
yep.
why? I don't understand. But it has to vibrate, otherwise it all comes apart. So
It
yeah,
all
something
goes-
like that. Like we've been getting our hands dirty, and I've lost some tines and all that kind of stuff. And I've sacrificed needles to the ship yet again,
Yeah.
and it is okay. I think the other thing is I know that Cass's character, which I forget, is it Kiaria or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Call
Yeah,
him Key for short.
Key. I think that Key's little spiderlings have been around as well, and like probably while he's been separated, that's been like one of the main ways that Quilbin's been up to speed on what's going on, and just like having like a sense of like friendship, while like committed to some like deep dark project in the bowels of the ship.
Okay. I like it. Alrighty. I think then my other question would be for Celine. What I guess you're home. I don't know, up to you how long you've been away from home, but kind of what are the feelings and kind of the plan of action you might want to do here. I think you see as you're coming in, like I said, the lights and stuff are coming on, but maybe about halfway up the trees, maybe there's a section that kind of does a big loop that makes a bigger kind of flat area. And you do see there's a lot of lights and things going on there. So it seems like there is some sort of event, festival, something, I feel like probably your people, especially with like having shorter lifespans and living in these I don't want to say delusions they're in, but you got some of those elders that are telling everybody things that aren't really true, seeing as the truth of the mountain. But it seems there's something going on tonight.
It's like New Orleans. Every weekend there's a new like festival and like party and holiday, which is true. I used to live there, and there was always like a thing that was happening, but which is great. Party time all the time. I would say that we're probably gone for like a few weeks up to like a month, because probably got tipped off about the PDS and then had to like make our way out that way and stuff like that. I guess I would because she was pretty like set on leaning on Zorfax for like a lot of this stuff, and now he's not here. So is there really like, does she know of anybody else to go to really? I don't know if there was like really anybody else. And we can't really, this is a big ship, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we're totally seen coming in. I would say she's probably pretty nervous, because without Zorfax's guidance, she doesn't really know super what to expect. Maybe the best, she just kind of instructs Shalon, if Shalon's like driving, just like maybe park at the end of the docks, and maybe no one will notice too much.
I can try.
I mean,
we're kind
they
of
will
hard
notice.
to hide. I wish I had some kind of cloaking, but sorry. We might make a little bit of an entrance, but I'll try. And she's like just expertly kind of like focusing on the wheel and trying her best to maneuver to the direction that Celine is pointing to. And kind of like clarifying like right here. Yeah.
Just like as far down as you can get. It probably won't help, but makes me feel better. Taylor, what season is it?
I don't know. When do cherry blossoms bloom? Spring?
Spring.
There's spring.
Okay.
We'll say spring.
If I can take a bit of creative liberty, I'll say maybe like the festival is like a cherry blossom festival, since like they have like a short like blossoming season, probably just like celebrating springtime and stuff like that. Yeah, she'll probably just turn to everybody and be like, okay. Or Taylor, actually, do we have to get to the mountain? Do we have to go through the village to get up that way?
No. I mean, you could go around it, but it's about to be nighttime.
Oh, true. Okay. Okay. I have a plan. It might work. Just follow me, okay?
You know this area better than I do.
As you pull the ship into the end of the dock, definitely doesn't matter, as on the treetops above there are little Mothrin folk running around, like the children like tossing down like cherry blossoms onto the ship, like to like leaves or the little petals and stuff. You can see there's like little like sparkler kind of vibes from some sort of popping of something. It's not like fire, it's kind of like bioluminescent kind of somethings, fire not good in treetops, if you didn't know. Not the greatest plan. as you all kind of scoot over, or you get kind of scooched into the docks. Where is Taryn, or what was he doing before feeling the, or get, I guess you're actively kind of helping drive the ship before knowing that y'all have parked.
Yeah. Yeah, just sort of keeping everything, keeping the engine in check, making sure everything looks good as we come into port. Maybe trying to keep the noise down is like, if I know we're trying to come in under the radar, I'm like, yeah, I don't think they notice us, just stuck in stuck in the engine room. It's like, yeah, I'm doing a really great job. And to come out, there's cherry blossoms everywhere. Like children are running on the deck. Like, oh, okay, fantastic.
Yeah. Y'all look, and like the other ships that are nearby are like very small in comparison to your giant flat top scavenger like
We
ship
have to
that you
have a
have.
big ship to bring the whole party. I
There
mean,
you go.
like,
There you go.
We tried. That's what counts.
it seems like they're
Um,
welcoming so far. And like Shalon will literally like probably have a few like cherry blossom leaves just like kind of stuck to some of her prickers.
Love it. All right. Do you think Quoben has made his way up on deck, done with projects?
Yeah, absolutely. Like once we've like moored and everything like that, he probably like claps him on the shoulders, like, well, and then he leaves, and then like finds his way to his friends, and kind of like picks up the pace a little bit to get back up to everybody, and kind of takes in the sights as he rejoins the group.
Awesome. Yeah, you can just hear like the previous Captain Kalan just probably covered some sort of motor oil and such. Definitely not as skilled in whatever this project was as you are. It's like, yeah, that was really good. Okay, bye. Like kind of like, all right.
Perfect.
I was gonna, okay. We're not social. Cool.
Question: do you think that has like Quoben been literally like locked down in the bows of the ship? Like, would him and Celine even have met? Is this like a weird like, what, a new person, or like have you been like out and about?
Oh, that's a good point. I think maybe it has been like that. Quoben's been like just basically sequestered into the bowels, right? And like it's catching up to like the people he knows. But and maybe after like finding like Taryn and Shalon, like, but not seeing Kira Key, right? And seeing like a new face, he's like, Colvin, good to meet you.
Oh, Celine. Hi.
You've been on the ship long, huh? He's like trying to clean off the grease and stuff on his like cacti hands. He's like trying to get presentable.
Days, actually.
Oh, welcome aboard. I've been working on a little project down below, making sure all the harmonics are, the ship's chakras are doing what they're supposed to do, I guess. So yeah, I'm happy to meet you.
Same. And she'll look to Shellen and Taryn and be like, he's okay?
Yeah, he's been very helpful to us before. He's been busy with a project for a little while, but we're happy to have him back for this adventure.
Yeah, hacker by trade, and I'll blaze a trail for you wherever you need to go.
Thank you.
And you can see like this cactine body. He's got like the flowers have dimmed on his form. The cactine flesh is like kind of older. A little bit of a roughneck look to him. But yeah, like carries the like hallmark hacker jagsuri thing that they use to cut through like brush and all that kind of stuff, and definitely looks like muscle.
Well, this is my home.
Oh,
Just kind of like motion to everything. It's like,
there's a whole place.
There's
of
like
yours.
one little like moth. There's one little moth like child that just jumps off of the like branch above. It's pretty high, but gets just enough of like a glide with his wings to just like land on your head, Celine.
"Oh,
He's like holding on.
hello.
You have a child with you. It's good. This sawboat is not safe for children. Okay, please.
The like kids looking like he's gonna poke one of your little barbs. It's like,
I get very still, and I just watch because I'm not gonna move and get the kid hurt, but I'm not gonna like not let the kid hurt themselves. So like, ooh, what are you gonna do, little one?
Celine's like, Mothran children are quite curious, to an extent. Excuse me, and it's like gonna
just jumps off, runs across the boat back onto the docks, and like disappears with a group of like other giggling children.
Also not very helpful, I guess.
I think I know what's going on there. They lost the bet. They had to be the one to come on board, If we're not careful, this whole deck's going to be covered in whatever Crayola surrogate there is in this world. Sidewalk chalk.
Still Crayola. Somehow the one ruin that came up from the ground was a Crayola factory in this area.
And now I just want like art of just like a moth, like a little moth child with like a big crayon just being
like one of the giant one.
Yeah.
It's like broken at the top, but it's okay because they're small.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, I guess Celine will kind of like take the lead and start to lead them off the ship. Probably if she can help it, bypassing like the general festival, trying to kind of skirt around the outside if possible. But yeah, try not to be like hello, but more like excuse me, pardon me. Like,
it's good. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely in like the main like juncture to a lot of these trees, so it is going to be like scooting around, but everyone's like in their thing. Like you can see there's some different little food and drink vendors. There's some like little dancing and music happening. There's like a very, very secured campfire, like whatever light would be in the middle. I think you see like one of the like old guys is like sitting there telling stories and has like a bunch of kids and some adults kind of crowded around him. Like they're all doing their own thing, and just kind of having a fest. But you scoot along to your destination. What might that be / look like, you think?
I think like any child who has left home for a while and maybe the first time, probably gonna immediately head back home to her house, because that is comfortable. So I'm probably just gonna
Your parents already? Wow. Honored.
No way, just right as soon as I get here. But she'll probably be like trying to nervously, explain like, this is the festival of the cherry blossoms, and it's one of the most important days of the year. Sorry that I can't show you more about it, but and like just kind of rambling on about it, and then we'll just head towards her house, which is pretty like also probably too distracted and too nervous to explain where we're going. But she knows, she like makes a beeline for it.
I think when we're walking, if there are any cherry blossoms that are kind of falling as we are like walking, Gobi is kind of trying to like chase them and like excitedly try to like figure out what they are and like grab one of them. And eventually, so Gobi is the catacora, so like a little tiny cactus cat type thing. So I think eventually, like if if like he sees that you're getting nervous, he'll also kind of like run in between your feet a little bit, kind of like to go ahead of you, and like he'll probably like have a few cherry blossoms like in his little quills and like shake them off, like kind of facing you.
Yes.
Love it.
Love.
The cutest.
Yeah, so as y'all kind of walk around this, like I said, this festivity, while definitely centered in this area, has everybody out and about. So you see all sorts of different people kind of rush in here and there. A lot of the homes and stuff are kind of like almost those kind of look like those like little wicker birds' nests that are kind of like little teardrops that kind of hang in the trees. Like that's what a lot of the homes kind of look like, just kind of built off of these like long branches. You see that there are still lots of walkways and stairs and bridges and stuff. It seems like, and you would all probably know that the moth people can't really fly, but they still have all these walkways, and it is definitely not for the faint of heart as y'all continue to go up and up and up and up this tree, higher and higher. Like I said, you see all these, different kids running around and playing. Even on some of the like porch areas, you see people sitting out having food and drink and talking. It seems like it's quite the ordeal. You even start to notice that there are some other people kind of mixed in this. It's not all Mothran, while that being the majority of it, because I mean, as y'all know, this is not a easily traveled to location. But you see a few different, some ardents and maybe some similar. What are I can't remember what the cactus and the mushroom related people are. Cactus and Gao, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Throughout, and as you kind of get higher in the trees, it gets a little darker just being in the more condensed area of these leaves and such. And I would think that Taryn would probably pick up the most on this one. You notice, Taryn, as y'all are kind of walking, that there seems to be like the tree itself does seem semi-hollow as well. You can see kind of people in and out. Looks like some stores and shops or whatever are within it. But there's kind of a hollow section on one of the branches that goes out, and you see like just up to like 3 or 4 little spiders down on some silk that kind of like seem to watch as y'all go, and then zip back up and go into this hole that's just kind of like in this like darkness a bit. But then you'll get to one of these little hanging homes, and you see that there's just a dim bit of light inside, but sitting on the porch you see 2 Mothran people. Just like, I don't know. I feel like are they like the fun parents, or are they like older parents? Like, are they drinking tea? Or are they drinking whiskey? Like what's the vibe as y'all walk up?
I'm gonna split the difference there, and I'm gonna say they're drinking some spiked fermented drink. They're hippies. They're total hippie vibes.
Love it. Love it.
And yeah, probably like I feel like the for this like festival, like the celebration, the start of like spring and stuff, there, there's a huge festival, but then maybe some of like they're probably like a little bit older, and maybe there's some like older Mothran who like to kind of have their own little like personal, I say like a very lax like ceremony-esque thing, just kind of like chilling on the front porch, just like taking it all in and stuff. And so she'll just kind of walk up and go, hi, sorry, hello,
Yeah, I think probably your dad looks first like, oh, Celine. Long time no see. Come here, give dad a hug. Come on. Come on. And he'll just
Hey.
run to you if you don't like go fast enough.
She's still trying to like stay a little bit like stealth, so it was probably too slow for him. It was like, oh, hello, Dad. Sorry we were gone longer than we expected. He like lift her up.
Him.
Oh, she's like pretty, like she's pretty tiny, like and very like thin and stuff. So any big movements is just like she's like a
Just
leaf on the wind, you
ragdoll,
know,
yeah.
just like whoa. Just like, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb your session. And then
Your
just
mom
kind of
like laughs and it's never disturbing anything, sweetie. How's your trip? When did you find what you were looking for, huh?
Yes, and I we made some friends here. Like,
Oh, hi. I'm. They have names. I just gotta pull up the thing. Skrilla, and this is my husband, Glork. Ooh, that doesn't feel good coming out the mouth.
Glork. What a
One more
name!
time. That is Skrilla and Glork.
Yes.
Fantastic. Love that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
pretty sure that's the best thing that fantasy name generator has ever given me.
I think when they look our direction, I think it'd be cool if like a couple of the moth children like ducked away.
Yeah,
And
they've been like following.
and like Quoben has like they have been like attaching cherry blossom flowers to his flowers. You know, like he has
Yes.
no idea, but like here back. So now
Oh
where
my
he can
gosh.
see, just like top of the stalk back. It's just like wherever there was a like a cactus flower is now like a couple of little cherry blossom flowers they've been like tying to him, and
I
maybe that's
love
like
it.
some sort of like I don't know, cultural note or something like that.
Yeah,
That they
yeah.
do this thing as like a little kid prank or something like that. And so like he doesn't know it, but he's very pretty right now. From like here back.
Yep.
Has like a pompadour made out of cherry blossom.
Right,
flower.
yeah. Yeah. It's like clearly he either didn't notice or didn't care that like something was going on around him. Because
Yeah.
it maybe is a little ridiculous by the time we got all the way to the family stead.
Yes. I love it. So yeah, they introduced that. They're like, oh, well, we weren't expecting any guests. We don't have much of anything to share except for some more of our we'll call it tea, but I don't know how it might react to other biologies. But the festival's going on, has lots of food and drinks. Or are y'all staying long? You heading out? What you doing, sweetie?
Something popped up and I couldn't unmute. If it's okay, I think we would stay for the night, and then we have to head out in the morning.
Oh, it's just a short trip. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Glork. God, I hate it. Can you go set up the futon for him? And he's like, of course I can. Is everybody like, do you sleep cool? Do you sleep warm? I can add some extra blankets. Kind of what's our vibe here?
I am a colony. I can sort of just spread out if I need to cool down.
What's
That-
everybody's
that-
vibe? I'm a colony. Just response.
What you call a nebulous mass of beings.
Yeah.
That borrows body parts as I need.
I'll just get a lot of pillows and blankets and leave it up to y'all to divvy them out. How about that? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, a thick blanket would be appreciated. I wouldn't want to leave too much of a mess.
Too late.
Shalon just kind of takes a second to
Other
be like,
flowers are falling.
"Yeah."
It's fine now.
Do
Okay, things.
do Myers do anything I kind of
So
forgot like if they're
yeah, so
um
the Myers and stuff are more kind of on the role play aspect for now. And so then it's one of those things that because they have tracks that, you can kind of play into them, avoid them however you wish. But as maybe you do something that directly like goes against the Myers or strengthen them or something that kind of impacts them in those ways, I can have you mark another track. And so then that makes it harder and harder for you to kind of like deal with that.
gotcha. Because two of my Myers are your thorns, cut, scratch, and catch. So I'm going into somebody else's home with a bunch of just potential things that could rip anything.
Oh, you're
And
so
then
awkward, knocking stuff
yeah,
over and like ripping, like accidentally ripping like bits of cloth and stuff that is next to the
I'm
couch.
just gonna be like standing in the corner, like, oh, are you comfortable over there? Yeah, I'm safe. Yes. But also the other one is my movements cause Rex to shift and creak. And if we were going on different bridges and whatnot, going higher and higher, this place is fun.
Yeah, there's a lot more petals falling than there had been previously.
Maybe there's a moment where like we had to cross like some sort of wooden expanse and like maybe my character's like taking up the rear, right, with all the kids playing with this stuff, and like it creaked and I just stopped at the beginning of that like expansion, just waited for you to all the way across before. Like it's just a moment we had, like there's a silent moment where I didn't say anything, just waited to see is it gonna break. It didn't break. Okay, good. Then I'll cross, kind of thing. We just
Yeah.
there's like a little detail that like the people who are spotting movie details grab. One of those kind of
Yep.
moments.
I love it.
Are we
Um,
this tree? Are we like up out of the forest and we're like
Yeah, so
a
pretty much this whole village is up out of the forest. It's just probably
okay?
about 4 or 5 different tall trees that stick out and kind of have these really twisting branches. So you're still in trees, but you're looking down on the actual Wildsea itself below
Okay,
you.
but there's still some kind of, even if it's thin, like canopy
Yes,
above.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Currently.
Cool.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Oh yeah, so I'll go get your I'm doing your mom's accent with your dad's voice. I'll go get your blanket set up and then make yourself at home.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. And Mom.
So we're staying at your family's place? Is this okay? Are we intruding? Should we
No.
have
Your
brought
mom's still in the circle while you're talking,
Yeah.
just like
Oh yeah. Then he'll probably like turn to her. It's like, should we have brought a gift? Did your daughter not prep us with proper etiquette?
No, that's totally fine. I mean, if anything, she didn't prep us because we didn't have things for you.
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
kidding.
well,
It's okay.
kids.
Kids,
So
I know, points at your head thinking you know. It's like, yeah.
Celine is just like nervously vibrating, just like,
Oh.
oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
When do we get to see the baby pictures?
Now,
Oh, I do have some very fun crayon renditions of her as a child.
you know what? The festival is right down the way. We could go hang
You
out
know
there.
what? She kind of looks. You know what? Actually, I do need to get going over there. It's almost time for the spring sacrifice, and just starts like scurrying off.
Like,
Casual. Oh yeah, of course. Have fun. Be back by 9.
Lord,
Remember
don't
when
forget to grab the bag. Okay.
remember when
Bag
that
of what?
child was gonna poke one of my spines and I got very still? I think we see Quilbin get very still again and just kind of like he's got his eyes on you, Celine, like
Are we the sacrifice?
No.
waiting for words to happen.
I mean, we could go to the festival if you want to. I just say we don't say anything about the triangles at all.
That's not what I was worried about.
Actually, you know what? I think Taryn is less put off by sacrifice.
That's good for you. I'm
No,
not.
no, it's one of my Myers. 'Cause I grew up on a ridgeback, so
Oh,
in times of trouble, we had to turn to sacrifice. And so maybe that's a little mark that.
It's
There
definitely an interesting part of the festival.
we go.
What gets sacrificed?
Glork walks by now. He's like, "Okay, I set up all your blankets, so feel free just stay up as long as you want. You know, it's fine." And then hefts this big like knapsack, like pretty hefty size knapsack over his shoulder, and just starts to like walk off.
I think it's
Okay.
better. I think it's better seen than talked about.
I'm gonna look at my captain.
We all turn to shoulder.
Yeah.
What we doing, Cap?
Yep. Your call.
Well, it's not my technically in this moment, Celine is the honorary captain of the specific voyage.
There are no
now that
words.
we're not.
I don't call you captain. I just look at you like, what are we doing?
Well, a group road trip, a field trip, I guess. I don't want to be rude to the traditions of the area. I'm sure some of my hometown traditions would have been shocking. Well, to everyone but Quobin, obviously. But in any setting, it would, Ectus might have some traditions that we're not used to, and Mothrin have sacrifices. Yeah.
I mean, it's too late to head out now, or I would suggest that we might as well enjoy it.
All right.
Coben like
gonna-
nervously fiddles that little tiny glass bead of sand that he had. Right? He fiddles that and is like, okay. And leaves his giant weapon here. Because nobody's walking around with a bunch of weapons, right? Like nobody's like
No,
armed.
not really.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not like we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out who the sacrifice is at the event.
Right. Yeah, those blood
Volunteers
combat.
this year.
Yeah,
Anybody?
yeah.
All right,
yeah,
battle to the death.
Yeah, if he had that stuff with him, he'll leave it here. It seems like not the vibe.
Celine will just kind of like start to kind of like jaunt down the pathway and just turn around and be like, remember, no triangles. And then just like keep going.
Hey, while I was away, did we figure anything out about that stuff?
It's an ancient relic that can maybe stop the verdancy, and then we're being chased. So we're supposed to return it to where it's from.
Okay.
Celine knows a lot more about it because it's her area, but for now, I guess no triangles.
Right.
Where is it, by the way, currently? Are we leaving it at the house?
I'll say up to y'all. Whatever your vibe would be. If you want to keep it in a lockbox on the ship, if you wanted to keep carrying it around in the like lead box.
I thought it was in Terran.
It was
like-
within
In
my
his
still
colony.
body.
Well, yeah, because your colony of spiders can just like absorb around it.
Yeah,
And kind of.
Yes.
There was a really good roll that like super concealed it.
Uh-huh.
It was like locked in there.
That's
Love
fine.
it.
That's
Cool.
great.
just carrying it in your belly. It's fine. Okay. So y'all make your way back down to kind of the main area. I think Taryn, you do notice a couple of times on the way down some more spiders, specifically near the like kind of hollow tree sections.
Can I make a check? You keep throwing these. I don't. Hold on. Yeah.
Let's go talk to the other spiders.
Grab one, put it in your
Yeah.
fake mouth, and then interrogate it with the 100 spiders that live in your face.
Of one.
Okay. I'm gonna make a check to see if I can tell if these are spiders from a colony or just sort of local spider.
Okay. What would
So
you like to do for that?
I'm thinking scrutinize and veils seems good. So that'll be a 3 pool.
Okay. I will say, since we're getting to some rolls, I have 3 points in my villain pool here.
Villain.
Everyone's been given one named fate point, and then there's 2 extra ones floating around. So at any point in time, you want to use your named one, it'll basically add to your advantage. You can't go over 2d6, so if you already have that. Or 2d6 for the advantage specifically. And then as a group, you can decide if you want to throw the other 2 on a pool as we continue to grow the pool here, because that should be, I counted that last one. So, but 3d6 is not bad.
Yeah. I got a 4 mixed success, right?
Yes. Yeah. So success with a drawback. So I think you are kind of picking up on them a little more. It's probably one of those like spidey senses of where you can you hear almost like whispering, and it's not like you can really fully understand what it is. You just know it's like happening and you're like, what? And then you kind of look and you always see quite a few of them at a time, and they just kind of like suck back in to somewhere like very, very quickly. And so you're starting to really kind of gather like, okay, there is some sort of like colony here. It's not just kind of local. They seem to be organized and communicating with each other, though I think with the conflict being every time you do notice them, they kind of disappear.
Gotcha.
They kind of go back into hiding somewhere. Ow, headphones pinching my ear. But the rest of y'all get down to all of you get down to the kind of main landing here. And yeah, there's, like I said, there is some food, there's some dancing, there's some music going on, there's drinks being handed out. Like y'all are more than welcome to eat, drink, be merry. The old Mothrin guy is still sitting around the campfire telling stories. He's going on and on about like back in my day, and you even kind of start to like pick up as he's telling stories that it seems like it might even be more than back in his day, but is very much being told as in a lived experience, not like my grandfather told me kind of thing. As talking about these trees were only 200 feet tall, not 400, and we were so much more crammed, little things like that. Then it used to be a lot easier to get around because, there'd be lights in the sky, like basically what we would know he's describing kind of like an aurora borealis kind of light in the sky, but in whatever a way a moth that does not have those words would describe like lights in the sky. He's just going into all these wild stories, and these kids obviously have like heard it, but they're always just like, ooh, super into it. And I think you see your parents, they're probably dancing. That seems like a thing they'd be doing. They'd be like getting a little jiggy with whatever music is going on. And then there's kind of like this little platform on the edge that kind of looks down over the actual, down to the Wildsea itself and to the actual tops of the rest of the trees. And you see similar big bags like what your dad was carrying kind of piled up there, and you see one Mothrin individual that very much looks to be in like some sort of ceremonial type garb. Like he you would know him as the kind of head of the church of sorts, whatever the kind of like elder community thing that they have going on here. Blair, and he's kind of sifting through the general bags. But what of any of that or anything else would anyone like to do while in this little festive area?
I think Taryn is curious about the talk of sacrifice. He wants to see if it's his definition is the same as these the locals.
Okay. So do you want to go over to the piles and the clergymen? Or talk to just random people, be like, hey, so what's up with the sacrifice, though?
Taryn approaches the plinth, and yeah, I'm gonna go over to I assume there's like an area,
Yeah.
and just like sort of get a vibe.
Yeah. So you kind of go over there, and we'll say the one Mothrin that's sitting there, like I said, has like the very much like these long kind of robes going on that have lots of like yellow and gold trims and stuff, and he's like solid white and so floofy you can't even like see his face barely because there's just so much of that little like moth fuzz. And he's kind of opening up one of the bags and kind of moving some things around, and you see inside, like the first one he opens up, it looks like some sort of like fabric, like a very like intricately designed fabric, but then he'll open up like another one and you see like a pot of some sort, like a ceramic kind of pot, and see some like different things, and then he just kind of catches your eye and is like, oh, I see you are new to our town. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Can you tell me more about the festival?
Oh, of course. I mean, this is just one of 10 so far. No, 12. Multiple. That we put on to celebrate new seasons, celebrate new beginnings, celebrate different things, and give thanks to the sea that allows us to live here.
Thanks for the sea. D.
It gets very angry if we don't.
Ooh. Okay. That's fun. Yeah, okay. Cool. They're just making sacrifices to appease the Wildsea. That's fun. That's fun. That fits.
It's all vibes. Anything else anyone's got on there to do or want to investigate more?
I think I'm gonna try and trap one of these little spiders that we keep
Okay.
spotting. I think what I want to do is like, there's a bunch of people around. There's a bunch of like tree bits that have those like little pockets where maybe I would see like the spiders would draw up into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think the Quoban would kind of meander around and then like get near one and kind of back up near it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're in that pocket, you can't really see him.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna wait and like look at people and like try not to engage anybody in conversation, but just kind of observe.
Mm-hmm.
And then like after 8-9 minutes, like just as fast as he can, like get his hand in there and just try to grab something and pull it out.
Awesome.
And
All
if
right.
somebody looks at him, he's like, I'm just scratching, like
Yeah.
whatever.
It's fine.
just being a cactus sucks, like whatever I gotta do. I'm trying to nab one of these things.
You're like
spine on
to scratch as part of your ruse and get a full handful of like those petals.
Yeah. Oh, damn. What is this?
Okay, yeah. So what would you like to roll to try and nab some of these little spiders?
Okay.
Let me
That's a
go.
great question. I could see like a strike, because I think it's like the speed is what matters here, right? He's trying to go really
Yeah.
fast. And so, but I think he also has to be like really really smooth about it. So could I do like a graceful strike? Is that like
Yeah.
a possibility here? Like he's trying to be fast, he's trying to be silent, those things matter kind of more than anything
Yeah.
else because he don't want to draw a lot of attention to himself. So
Right. Right.
I think that's kind of where I want to go is like a graceful strike if that's doable.
Yeah. Yeah. That works for me.
Okay.
Let's
And
see.
I'm trying to think if I have any other like aspects or something that would really matter here. I don't think I do. So yeah, I think it'd just be I have a strike of 2 and I've got a bonus for grace. So would that be 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Cool. Edge, grace, submit. Advantage? No advantages, right?
Unless you would like to use your one from the pool or anything.
No. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Cut.
No cuts.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cut is the disadvantages I give you essentially.
Oh no, there's an error with my formula.
Oh
Shoot.
no.
Okay. Awesome. Well, then maybe what I should do is just roll some dice.
Yeah.
What am I rolling as? The D6s?
D6. Yep. And so it'll just be the pool of however many you're able to gather up.
3d6. I think last time I had to use like Google because I usually only have like 2d6. All right, 3d6. Here we go. Big money. 12 total. 336.
336. Okay, so the 6 is the important part because we want the largest number. And since you had no cuts, we can take the 6, which means you have a triumph. Did you say 336?
Correct.
So then you also have doubles because doubles also matter.
Full
And
success and a twist.
a full success, and then the doubles means a twist, which is, add a small, potentially useful twist suggested by any player. The Firefly has final say. Because that's what the GM's called is Firefly. I love that so much. It's so good. So I want to move my GM screen closer to me, but I have too much stuff.
Yeah.
I know. It's gonna block all my light, but that's fine. Okay, so with the success, complete success, no drawbacks. So easy. You are able to just very much inconspicuously stand there, and as you just they got comfortable with you being there. You can just feel that there's some movement happening. You're able to grab back and get a handful and just quickly, don't smush. Have
Yeah,
a little handful of
And it's gonna go in that
bugs.
specimen container I used to use for my scorpions.
There you
They're just
go.
gonna go right in there. I'm not gonna talk to them. Boop, seal it up. Just make sure I got them and put them in my pocket. Talk to them later.
I think the twist is in this little hollow because, like I said, the middle is hollow, but there's probably these little tiny knot holes that have kind of hollowed up. That's where they're kind of peeking out of. I think you see just the upper part of a face mask peer out, and just kind of not really look at you. It's black where the eyes are. Just be like, those are mine.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought, there was something strange going on. Are you not welcome here?
Oh, everyone's really nice. I just, a little shy.
Oh.
I'm new.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a big misunderstanding. I am so sorry. What's going on here? I'm also new. Do you have an idea? And he's taking the thing out, he's taking the specimen container out. He's gonna open it in a second, but he's kind of reluctant to let it out. But yeah, he's gonna. It's well, so do you know what's going on here? What the big sacrifice stuff is all about, and all of that?
As those other little spiders kind of crawl out and go back into the hole, you see the face mask kind of push out of the hole,
Mhm.
and then very much in horror movie non-human movement of ways, the rest of this body kind of comes out, and it's very clearly like wrapped in like fabrics and stuff. Like it's not like skin of any
Yeah,
sort.
it's
Like
like a
they've
burlap sack or something like that it's like moving around.
yeah, it's a little oogie boogie kind of like vibe as it just like comes out of this hole, and it is like 2 feet tall once it finally like gets out and kind of like plops down. And it's very much like, I'm thinking what are the little things in Princess Mononoke that do the weird little head
Oh yeah, the
bobble
little spirits,
thing,
little forest spirit
Yeah,
things.
it's like very much that vibe
Okay.
of
Well-
of a creature now as it's out. The little spiders kind of scurry back in.
Then Quilban will like squat way down because Quilban's a tall cactus, right? So he's gonna squat way down, like, heels on the floor kind of thing, get his butt near the floor kind of thing, but he's not gonna sit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
And he's gonna get like kind of tuck his, like, hold onto his knees a little bit just to not be so big.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Says, my name is Quilban. What? And who might you be?
Hi, I'm. Oh, I haven't thought of a name yet.
Oh, are you? You're not just new to here. You're just new, like new.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, fantastic. Do you have any friends or family or anybody taking care of you?
Well, not really. I mean, some of the moths are very nice. They gave me these very pretty fabrics. They're decent. Make sure that I'm comfortable. But no, my family is from down there, and like it just forms like a little tendril to just point towards just the Wildsea.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, mine too. I understand. It's a place of comfort for me. And
Well, I don't want to go back.
Oh, is it unpleasant down there?
A big part of the rest of me was not very nice, and we were really alone for a long time, so I like it better here with people to see once I learn how to deal with them. Talk to them. That's the nicer way to say that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell you what, if you like, nameless small one, you can hitch a ride with me, and well, good look at the place, and if you like what you see, maybe I don't know, maybe there's more we can talk about later on. I've got people here, we're kind of visiting, and you seem curious.
The other and just like points at themselves.
Indeed. Taryn, it is over there, and and then you got another one like me over there, and then that little mothy looking lass over there is also part of my group.
Just kind of like scurry, like just kind of shuffles. It's very much just like shuffle. There's no like legs.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
just kinda scoots its way.
It's like the old animation where like the bag like kind of like
Yeah.
like moves
Just
along. Yeah.
Yeah, very
That's
much.
great. That's great. It's like 16 gerbils in a bag. It's like
Yeah.
all right, that's great. Well, if you think of a name, just whisper it to me. I don't mind having one or two of you on me. I've got others that do similar, and you are welcome to travel with me while I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry for disturbing you earlier. I know that was maybe a little unpleasant and sudden.
Well, thank you for giving me back to myself.
Of course. Of course. And like, if a cactus could blush, he probably blushes, right? It's like,
Yeah.
cool.
And then they'll just kind of like Just shuffle like by your feet wherever you go.
Yeah, and I
currently.
think what I'll do is like kind of sit here by the tree for a little bit and then trying to remember like, does Taryn eat stuff? Like, what does Taryn eat? Have I seen Taryn eat things?
Ah, that's a good. I don't.
No, spiders eat
Yeah, what a spider.
plants.
I mean,
Bugs.
spiders
Bugs.
eat bugs. They're almost entirely carnivorous, right?
Yeah. But I live in like the bowels of the ship. I think maybe. Yeah, maybe just like pests. They
Sure,
get on the
sure. Oh, yeah.
ship. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Good.
You just
So
like
yeah,
walk through like gnat clouds and
Yeah,
just
there you
like
go.
just
Suck
like
'em in. It's like a
Yeah.
whale with like
with krill.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, all right. Then I'll say, well, if then maybe after a little bit, after thinking about it for a little bit, cool. I'm like, well, if you want to hitch a ride, we'll get you something to eat. And then like, I'll take him over to like where there's a bunch of little gnats or some sort of flying insect, and I'll just be like, I'll just kind of walk through it and just expect for it to do the thing that it needs to
Yeah.
do.
They just start
Uh,
disappearing. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
The buzz
Yeah.
is going away very quickly.
And I imagine because of my my thing, this what is it, the mire? Like I have other insects on me, that are
Mhm.
probably hiding out. So I was like, there might be something.
Just like
Might be some-
a monkey. Just like
Yeah, yeah,
picking
yeah.
bugs off
The
you.
little mites and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Then I want to be nice to this thing now that I've like met it. And we'll introduce them later.
Anything else?
I think whenever we're kind of like on the outskirts or like to the side of the festival, not close to the was the Mothran at the sacrifice kind of area. Was he like a priest? Is he like dressed up?
Yeah, like definitely he's like the head of whatever kind of sect this is,
Yeah. So kind of she'll make sure that they're scooted down from that guy, kind of like nobody else around, and we'll lean over to Shalon and Taryn and be like, I didn't want to say anything with my parents around, but do you remember Zorfax explaining about the PDS?
Shalon does, Lonnie doesn't 100%. Like Lonnie doesn't everything, but Shalon would be like, oh yes, it's this and that, and like it would do this, and would have like a sheet because she likes lore, so she'd probably remember all of it. But Lonnie doesn't.
Yes, exactly. It's. Do you remember? Zorfax said, like, we're very young people. We cycle through very quickly. And remember, Zorfax said there were many that forgot about the PDS. Yeah? That's them. And he kind of like nods her head over to like the priesty guy. It's like they kind of lead the new thought, the new way of thinking. Nothing about the PDS and all about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
They forget about it, or do they pointedly try to not have it be spoken about?
Well, we used to have the Prisme priests, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But they're all gone now. Whenever we lost the PDS, they tried to find it, and since there's none around anymore, and we live such short lives, people just forgot.
What do you think would happen once we get it back to where it's supposed to go? Would people be happy? Would they know?
It's more of a Zorfax question. I don't know everything. He knew a lot more than I did. And you can tell she's like visibly uncomfortable that like he's not here anymore and is like very lost despite being in her like home village.
Shalon will kind of see that and try to be like, it's okay. Was there anyone here that Zorfax might have trusted with this stuff? Maybe we could go talk to them?
Taylor, would I know? Have I seen anybody like Zorfax talking to anyone else?
Not really.
Maybe we try talking to the... I want to say the priests, but I don't know if they'd be able to be much help.
I don't think they would like what we have.
Oh, I wasn't going to talk about it to them. I was going to just play the newcomer. Ask about, you know, the history of your island and kind of have them explain to me what they you know, what they would want to tell me and see if there's any way to build off of that. But I wouldn't approach and specifically mention, especially considering we it's here right now with us. Wouldn't be a good idea.
Came from inside the house.
A little spider whispers in the Discord chat and gave me an idea. Oh, we could. Do I know where Zorfax lived? I mean, I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
We could go look at Zorfax's home. I've been there many times. There might be something there.
Was he one to take notes?
I mean, I guess. He was more of a talker.
Whatever's there, we'll find it, even if it's a whisper.
True. I mean, we can stay for the rest of the festival and then go. Up to you.
As you say that, the guy kind of stands up, the one in the garb, kind of stands up from wherever he had kind of sat down and rested for a bit, and just starts like banging this like obnoxiously loud gong, and everybody kind of gets a little quiet. He's just, you know, has probably some very long, flowery speech that I could not do justice, but is along the lines of just like, welcome everybody to this year's festivities. I am very thankful to have new faces with us as well, but it seems that our eyes above have spotted some movement, so it's time. And you see everyone kind of gets excited and like stands up and kind of like rushes to different parts of like the tree and the side of the platform, and they're all like looking in kind of the direction which you would know, Celine, is the direction of the now covered Surge Mountain and kind of the middle, towards the middle of this kind of protected area. And you see everyone getting all excited. Quite a few other people kind of walk up and start kind of grabbing some of these things out of the bags. And you see, yeah, there's like looks like hand woven blankets, these like old ceramic pots, because like where would you find ceramics anymore? You know, like handmade things. Like everything looks to be very nice and very thoughtful, or has some sort of value, maybe in the antique sense or like personally. And after a bit, you're all kind of looking, and the moon has come out now. We'll say it's a nice full moon because that just makes it so much better. And you can kind of see the Wildsea. It has like those little speckles of, or kind of almost a snow caps look of all of these petals that have fallen down. And you start to see these petals kind of flying up off of the Wildsea, off of the branches, as then you hear kind of this rumbling, and you see, like, as it gets closer and closer in this moonlight, what looks like a boat wake, in water, where it looks like these trees are kind of like rippling out, that you see nothing on top of the actual treetops itself, as these kind of petals get pushed to the side, and it gets closer and closer to the actual tree, or the tall shanks itself, and these people are kind of dumping the box, like the bags of stuff, off the edge, as then you see, like, and I mean, now the whole place is rumbling. Everyone here has a very pretty sure footing just in general, but also probably used to this. Those new are probably a little concerned, as this is a full tree quake now happening, as you can see, just almost a like whirlwind of these petals that are starting to just like whip around the bottom of the tall shankus, whatever this is underneath is like circling. And then after a bit, there's music happening, like there's a certain song, there's some chants that happen, and this lasts for a good couple of minutes, and then just immediately stops. And then stands up and he's like, everyone, wonderful night. Celebrate. It seems the Wildsea has once again accepted our offerings. I appreciate you all for giving a part of yourself for our future. And then like the music kicks in and everything again.
So we should have brought a gift.
We should.
Darn it.
And maybe that's where we'll take a break. Do you want to take a quick break right there? Like,
Yeah.
like the hour and a half-ish point. As then we'll come back. Y'all can go look through Zorfak's things. Maybe get a comfortable or not comfortable night rest, depending on how comfy our Ectus get in a stranger's home. And see what the day brings us.
It was wild.
Hello, everybody. We are back. We are back. I don't know what that song is, but we're in here first, y'all. Before we hop into it, I want to just remind everyone, we're here to play Wildsea. It's super fun, but what we're really here for is we're raising money for the Trevor Project, y'all. $10. Every $10 donation gets your name in to win some super awesome gifts. So prizes here. So send those donations in, help a good cause, and have fun. Also remember, we have Fate and Villain points here. Currently, y'all have 4 in the Fate pool, I think. I still only have 3 Villain, I think. Has the cooldown done? Can I give myself a Villain?
Do we need these still? How many are you going to use in
No,
like a 2-hour
that's
time
bullshit.
period?
No.
I
We're
think we
tied.
have more fate points than that. I
You
think
do.
we have
You
like
have 4
a
in the group
gross-
pool, and then everybody has an individual one that Turk specifically gave.
Oh,
so-
okay. We're balling out. We're going
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
every-
y'all are great.
I risk, I
Um,
reward. Let's go.
Yes. But yes, the sacrifice to the Wildsea has just happened. We'll go ahead and kind of fast forward a bit to y'all getting to Zorfax's home. You probably do notice that Quoben has a new friend.
Yeah, I want to try. I want to approach him and like make a.
Yeah. When we started stepping around, I was like, "Hey, everybody, this is our new friend," and I'll like introduce them so that it's not awkward.
Like the little head tilt, there's just like a little mask
Yeah,
constantly.
I don't know their name. I don't think they know their name yet. But but they've been, they've been very friendly, and I think I missed, like addressing them real quick. It's like, I want to say I misjudged at first, and I apologize for that, and I hope that we remain friends. And this is
That's fine.
okay.
From what I hear from the rest of me, that's a usual thing for us.
Consciousness is a strange construct. Okay, cool, good.
I'm gonna
Ta-
talk to them in Zelacray, and just sort of like, you're the one watching us. It's good to know we have friends here.
And they're just like, sorry I was following you. We're new. And I've never seen another person thing like me other than the rest of me. And so I was a little concerned you were that, but you're not. I can tell. You got a different, like, frequency.
And you said the rest of you is mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of me, but I think when it gets so big to a point, we start having differing ideas. And I didn't want to be there and do what they were doing anymore. And I know there's more of me that didn't want to be there and do what me were doing either, but they were too scared to leave.
Oh.
Hmm.
Where
were you?
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Oh, again, just the like pseudopod essentially growing out of just like spiders through this like cloth and like points kind of just down and out. And it is in the direction that this monster came from, in the direction of the mountain.
Oh, great.
Under the
That's
trees.
fantastic.
Is it in the direction of the sacrifice?
Yeah.
It's
Taylor,
where
is
we're
this
going.
is this normal for here? Do I remember just like random what are the spider people's name?
Zealocray.
Zealocray. Do we just have like Zealocray just kind of pop up every now and then?
You don't really have a lot of anybody pop up other than people that are like born here. Like it is very rare to have anyone coming to this area because they have to fight through some shit to get here. But definitely not little tiny 2 feet tall baby Zealocray.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
At least 70 suns. I've been counting them. I've never seen them before. It's very cool. Oh, actually, you see one little spider like jumps off and like scurries away, and they just sit there real still and just wait, and then it comes back. 74.
Did you just talk to someone?
No, I've been making little marks.
Um,
I had to go count. I learned how to count in 74 suns.
It's good. It's good.
Very, very good.
so Selena like turn back to the group and be like, "This isn't normal."
Okay. Brenda, I think we're all kind of working on a theory, right? We're all kind of maybe friends. Yeah. All the 4 of us are kind of working on a theory that maybe.
Can I be friend?
Please. Yeah.
My name is Friend.
Friend. Good. So friend, we are probably working on the idea that maybe the large group of Zealocray that you were once a part of, maybe you all visit this tree regularly and then like go back to the mountain.
Do you remember ever when you were part of the rest of you, things falling from the sky? Items?
That's good.
Like a
really?
pot? Okay.
I mean, usually we were by ourselves. I mean, sometimes the big thing would come by and have new things.
Oh, this is a different thing.
Okay.
Big thing.
There's more than one thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big, like, shiny, spiky thing.
Shiny, shiny as like the silk that you're wearing, or shiny as in metal, like
Shiny like the
hammer.
the sun I see now. But then sometimes they can be like no sun, super dark.
Celine like has her little moth hands like squeezing against her little head and is just like, And it's literally trying to remember if any of this sounds like anything Zorfax ever told her. Like, is any of this ringing a bell vaguely? Can I do a
You
roll for
got,
that?
yeah. I mean, you tell me. Do you
Oh,
have the
no.
skills to do a roll like that?
Do you have the
I love
Can I
this
skill?
game.
assist?
Yeah,
I,
yeah. You can give
What?
a advantage.
I have an aspect that's called Wild Words, where you mark to remember a rumor or folktale pertinent to your situation.
So good.
And I don't know if that's something I could use personally, since I don't know the area as well. But if I could use that to advantage Celine?
Yeah, yeah. I would say you could. You know, maybe just by knowing some things that would be secret. You know, like just
Yeah.
everything still kind of follows a pattern, even if it's
Maybe-
not like the same thing. You
Yeah,
know, you can
like
be
maybe the two of us can like volley off of each other, like, oh, it was maybe something like this. No, that doesn't sound right, but I think I've heard something like this, and kind of like doing the back and
Yeah.
forth kind of thing.
Also, would this be good to, because like, so my edges,
Mhm.
I have iron tides and veils. Would veils be like a good one? It's like
Yeah, I think so. So you'll we'll be on with like the secrety things.
okay, so 1, 2. Then I also have oh, sorry, I gotta go back and forth between a few pages. Ooh. I have that's not really what I thought it was. Oh, I do have sense. Maybe that
Sense
could...
is the skill of glances, insight, and intuition you sense to push your awareness of the world past its usual limits in both terms of environmental and social understandings. I could say, you know, maybe reading things with Zorfax in the past. So you've got 1 for veils, 1 for sense, and then an advantage from Shalom.
And then, can I keep going?
You can have 1 edge. You can use up to 3 skills or languages, and you can have 2 advantages.
Okay. Would delve also be, because here it says explore ruins, bypass locks and trap, identify the past? Or would that not really?
That sounds like
Um,
something
if you want to
like, be in the
maybe-
room.
Yeah, so
Oh,
if we
okay.
want to like have this conversation while then going into Zorfax's and looking around,
Okay. Yeah,
that could be possible. And be like, this is weird. Let's see what he has.
that sounds good. Yeah, maybe trying like just going and then like just going into Zorvax's place, be like maybe there. Okay, cool. So there's another one, and then I'm going to use one of my points.
Okay.
So is that an extra die?
Yeah, so that would count as, so now you have both advantages, 1 from Shalon, 1 from using the fate die.
Mhm.
You have 2 skills, so 2d6 there, and then the 1 from the edge, so you roll 5.
5. Let's go. Ooh, okay. I got 1 6, 3 3s, and a 1.
Okay, so you've got a twist and a triumph here. So yeah, as they're kind of talking, his friend is talking about these things, and y'all are walking in. Zorfax's place is one, there's like no doors in this entire village, but then also, you know, if it's not locked up, you don't seem to think there's any sort of problem with crime here, because everyone is just very like open community. And so you just kind of walk in, and I mean, it looks like a dusty old man's office where there's just like stacks of books or like things, there's scrolls, there's just all sorts of kind of things stacked all over the place. And as you're kind of looking through, what exactly is kind of the answer you're looking for here? Just what this maybe spiky bright creature is, like.
Yeah, maybe just kind of like what is the kind of like that, and what is the connection to like what we're doing? Like if Zorfax knew anything of like the history with that in connection? Like, did it come about because of all this stuff? Like things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So as you start kind of looking through things, there's a lot of charts. There's a lot like mapping charts. There's a lot of things from lots of different places. But then you do kind of find a section, kind of a little makeshift bookshelf stack that very much does, and it's kind of hidden back behind some things. And we'll say you kind of knew to go that direction because you've seen him grab stuff from there before. That is very much all the Prisme du Soleil themed things here. And so you're kind of like through, and there's some like older, maybe some older papers and things that very much have some like weather damage and such. You have known that like Zorfax retrieved a lot of these things from the actual like temple itself post the like reemergence of the Verdancy, because that was generations before him, generations even more before you. So some of these things are a little weathered, a little older, and you can see, there's some notes in general of, found this room, library, here are these things, blah, 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 blah. But you do start to see kind of like a rough sketch that looks to be like a map of this kind of area here, or of this like temple. But then you also see that kind of, we'll say it's in like a notebook. You see this rough sketch, but then you also see lots of little doodles and such that seem to be trying to like recreate things that he saw so he doesn't forget. You do see a lot of imagery of some sort of creature that seems to have like lizard-esque features within these like really spiky kind of scales off of it, maybe like some little like lightning lines or stars, something to like imitate the light. So you're kind of figuring like, okay, but it's not in the way of like, I saw this creature. It's in the way of like, here was what was etched on the door.
Okay.
I think then there's probably just like a very like, we'll say like the kind of the twist of sorts is just a very ominous note. Hey, let's not squeaky toy while I'm trying to stream, please. A very we're not playing. Ominous note at the last page of it that's just like, paths blocked, couldn't get any farther. Beware the dark.
Beware the dark.
Scary.
I would like to, as part of my like looking around this place, I would really like to use my iris blossoms that allow me to see heat the same way that others see color.
Ooh, okay.
I'm just kind of curious if there's anything in this home that is emanating heat that doesn't make any sense to me. And if there's nothing on like a glancing, then I'll drop it. But I think that he'll like take a second to like switch into that. Like the petals will kind of fold over his eyes, and that'll be like how he starts to get a sense for any kind of thermal activity that would be of interest.
Yeah, I think as you do kind of looking in this area that Celine is kind of digging through, you see a kind of cloth bound like envelope of sorts, when this kind of got like the leather kind of bit wrapped around it. That does seem warm. Not like hot, but like it has a heat signature.
Can I retcon one thing?
Of course.
Can I place our little friend outside?
Yeah.
And like tell them to keep watch, and like have a little buddy with me.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
good
cool.
at that.
Cool, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and then okay, cool. I'll kind of like tap my little hand towards this envelope. It's like there's something with this envelope. Have you seen this before, Celine? This wrapped envelope. There's something inside that's giving off some warmth. You can almost feel it.
Does it
I
seem...
don't think you would have like picked, like you wouldn't have seen it probably, you know, like he has a lot of things, and probably just with the nature of you being like who he thinks you are, probably didn't tell you a lot of things because is waiting for you to remember things, you know.
Interesting. I'm gonna start to like I'm gonna pick it up and start to open it.
Okay. Yeah. You pick it up and it's pretty hefty, not like very, very heavy, but definitely seems heavier than the size that it is and very solid. And as you unwrap it, it look like you see what looks to be this very large kind of pointed scale that is almost like a pitch black, like obsidian. And then like as you move it and kind of tap it, like flashes of light will pop off of it. It is kind of a similar, like immediately you would notice, especially since you were kind of the first one to like really hone in on the prism before, similar vibe as the prism itself, of kind of that weird kind of obsidian-y black purple within these light signatures.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna set that on the table so we can all see it. And I'm gonna take a little step back, like, wow.
I think we're all just in awe of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hot?
Not hot, but it has a heat signature. It's not like room temperature like everything else. It has a little bit more going with it.
Let me get.
Should we take the prism out? Is it safe for us to take it out and kind of compare?
Yeah. It's a good move.
Yeah, I mean, I would know. We're pretty like, can I look around, just make sure nobody followed us here and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, and easy enough. Not a rule needed. Like y'all aren't sketchy by any means. These people like very much respect each other's privacy, and there's a festival still going on, you know. So there's not much in the way of people in this area, which is kind of a neighborhood, and just feeling like the type of person Zorfax says he probably tried to spring for a place kind of on the edge of the community.
Cool. So yeah, let's take the artifact out, and compare it, see if it has any like effect. Maybe if they're near each other, it'll do something.
Okay. So, are you gonna kind of man that then?
Yeah,
Aaron?
yeah, I will do that. I'm gonna see if I can. What kind of skill are you looking for this? I have scrutinize, scavenge, or repair.
Maybe
Maybe if I feel like...
scrutinize.
Okay.
Just to kind of really see what reactions, what things might be going on here.
What do you think? Grace? I think Grace sort of makes sense. And then I am going to use... I don't know if this... yeah, I'm going to try. I can use my autocrawler once per scene to improve the rarity of salvage you acquire. Could I...
Okay.
Yeah? Think so?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't... Seeing as it's more of an artifact and not salvage itself, but, I mean, since it is a thing that is meant to, you know, identify, help, you know, a repair, kind of whatever, I would allow that to give you an advantage. As it's, you know, maybe helping monitor what's happening.
That's a pool of 4. Here we go. Yeah, just a 6. Good.
6. Alrighty. So you kind of have your little auto. I forget one of their toys is squeaky apparently. No man. You have it kind of go out, and you're, you know, holding, kind of looking at this scale, and your body moves aside and pushes out this box with the prism in it. You're able to open it up and kind of lift it out. I think we kind of established before, Taryn, you kind of see still then that little bit of kind of energy sucking that it seems to be doing between the two actus. Again, not a ton, not enough that it's like any sort of damage, but it's still reacting to plant life in some way. No. And first, I mean, everyone can notice that this is very much a similar material. It looks like this crystal, while being much larger, the prism itself being much larger, still has that kind of darkness, that light that kind of zips around. And this scale, to kind of answer your question, David, that does look pretty organic. You don't see any sort of like markings or anything. It looks like reptilian. They don't like pull together, but they do seem to have some sort of magnetism that does draw them. Like you can almost feel that pull that they're trying to come kind of in contact. Not enough, like I said, that they're attaching or pulling, but they seem to like each other.
These are friends.
Does the
To each
scale give
other.
me that same sense of like draining that the prism did?
I don't think so. And I think maybe even with Taryn's special Spidey viewpoints here too, notices that there isn't that same kind of pull just off of the scale by itself.
Are there any, like, kind of while we're looking around and while things are happening, are there any whispers in here at all? When I first read up about whispers, I kind of thought it was like something you like can purchase, and I almost like imagine like this just like white orb of just like words that kind of spoke to you. But I just read up on it again, and it basically is like it literally says living words that worm their way into an individual's mind, nestling there until they're ready to be spoken. It almost makes me wonder if like this place filled with a lot of history and research might have something that could expose itself to us while we're in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess what would you like how would you like to go about kind of looking for those as far as skills and such?
Like I said, I originally thought it was something that maybe you could kind of buy, so I feel like
Mhm.
originally I kind of thought it was almost like a scavenge type thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it almost kind of seems like something where you just let it happen in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have instinct, which is sense, intuition, and reaction.
Yeah.
Which I feel like might kind of be good for just almost like letting my mind go blank for a second and kind of trusting and letting anything that might happen, knowing what it might feel like, kind of understanding what it feels like to have witnessed a whisper, because I have 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then let's see. I don't know if some of
Like
these will.
sense by any chance?
I do
That one?
not.
Could I assist if I have sense?
Yeah, you can say like in any of this, you can definitely give an advantage as you're looking through similar things.
Okay.
Or even if you have anything, Lonnie, that is more like actually looking through things like delve or something, because you're gonna like have to dig through his stuff essentially to try and find
Sure.
something.
I do have scavenge, which is locate, collect, identify properties and value.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I would allow that to work, because it's kind of this process of you're looking for something, but you need to know in a sense way what it is. So it's a little of both.
Or Okay, so I can roll with instinct. I have two dots in scavenge, so that'll be 3. And then Blair, you said you were gonna assist for sense.
Yes.
Cool. And then since we have so many fate points, since everybody's awesome and keeps giving us fate points, I'm gonna use one of those too. So I'll use my personal one for now. Wow. Okay. I rolled a 1. No, 2 1s, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
All over the place.
So
All right,
the
well,
4
we
is
got
the
a
best
success.
and got doubles, but
Yeah, we got a success with a drawback and a twist.
oh boy.
So we got
Full flip.
some things. Okay. Hold on. I have to look at one thing under whispers real quick because I think I know what our drawback is, but I want to make sure I read it right
It's gonna be
because
corrupted, isn't it?
whispers is such a like conceptual thing. I still haven't fully wrapped my head around how to like enact it in gameplay, you know?
Mhm.
Where were the whispers? There they are.
Page 26.
Same. I feel like you explained them like before last time, and then I was like, cool. What? Like, like very much like can't. It's a very cool concept, but yeah, it does take a second to kind of like get it.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, it's like I
horrible.
get what they are at a core level, but how do I play that out? You know, like how do I say you found this whisper and it's this word, but it means all these things, and now it's gone forever. Like
Yeah.
figure it out, but it's okay.
I don't just get a memory and put it in a pensieve and just kind of like get to see all of it right in front of me play out as a scene or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, I think okay, I know what it is. So you are looking around and everything is looking pretty archival, kind of just papers, maps, nothing's really standing out. I mean, obvious, other than the very obvious of this very weird lightning or light emitting scale. But you then kind of scoot aside and find another just sheet of paper that looks like it's fallen out of the journal. You see it's kind of got like a rip on it. And we'll say that to bring in Celine helping, like as she's looking through the journal, flipping it, it actively slips out of the back of the book, maybe like stuck in between some pages or something in the back. And you pick it up and look at it. And immediately, just a flash of bright light kind of like takes over your vision. And you, instead of sitting in this or standing in this room, you're standing in this like dark room. You can hear like the rustle of leaves. You can hear just like the low howl of kind of a breeze going through, and it like if you take a couple of steps and you can hear the echo, like you're very clearly in a large empty room somewhere beneath the leaves. But it's like I'll say you can even like look back and you see like a doorway and you can see like the trees out and the little bit of light coming through. It's starting to get real dark, so it's almost unnatural how dark it is where you are. And you hear what sounds like a low rumble, and you turn your head and you see in this like darkness, or you can just sense in this darkness, movement. And then all of a sudden you see a glow start to kind of come closer to you, and then a second glow moving together. And as they get up in your face, you can feel this like hot breath on your face as you see these two bright purple glowing eyes staring at you. And you flash back and you're back in the room. And I think the drawback currently is you were unable to fully grasp what this means. And it's like disorienting. Like you almost have this like headache as something is just trying to click in your head.
Okay. I think when I snap out of it, I all of a sudden kind of like with that disoriented feeling, I go from like being very cautious of bumping into anything to almost like falling back a little bit onto the bookshelf behind me. And like maybe some things fall in the meantime, but just like it's clearly uncharacteristic of Shalon, basically. And is kind of just like paused without saying anything, just shocked.
Shalon, are you okay?
No, yes. Mm,
The phrase that comes through your head as you're trying to think back on it is just beware the dark. Beware the dark.
is it dark outside right now? Is it? That's nighttime.
Full
at this
moon,
point,
but
right?
nighttime. Yeah.
Full moon. I found a whisper, which is something I've experienced before, but I don't really know what I got from it other than I think we need to be careful of darkness, like really dark darkness.
You look down at the page as you say this, and this was a Hungary, which is going to be with our twist. And you see this page that was like a normal parchment colored page with some writing on it from the bit you saw for a second. Now is like solid black and almost like brittle.
I think she tries to like find the closest surface and like as gently as possible just kind of
Oh, say that one more time. You went a little robot-y.
like
We'll come back to you in just a second, Lenny. I think your internet needs to catch up. You're roboting again.
Does
Weird, it was only the audio. You look fine.
does Zorfax have a kitchen?
Yeah.
Celine's gonna run over and get some water, and maybe if there's like, I don't know, like cookies or crackers or something like that, you know, like
Yeah,
a little snack or something, just like get it and bring it back over for Shalon. If anybody else needs anything, let me know, but maybe this will help.
Do we know if this scale needs to go back to some place? I know you all talked about taking the prism back. There's not a place for the scale there too, right? The scale is something different.
I haven't been to the temple, right? I never went with.
That's right. And I think we removed the prism in the first episode, and I don't think that there was anything about a scale. But Taylor, thinking back to when we were cutting through the woods and found all that stuff, did it seem like there was impressions for more than?
No, because where you found it was like more a stash from someone else, because there was like that dead body and there were like the rations and stuff. So assuming, as we kind of put the things together, is like you found it from someone who had stole it, and they didn't have any sort of like scales or drawings or anything. They just had this like the box and the prism itself. Yeah.
It seems like I'm gonna go on a limb here, but if this giant creature you found some notes on is around here and it illuminates in some way, then it seems like maybe the scale is related to that and it's from this area. I don't know. There's a creature covered in these things. It's kind of scary.
I don't know if it would be a bad idea to take it with us. Maybe it could help.
Well, tell you what, let's put it back in its little bag. And if we come up with an idea, we've got it. So Taylor, I'm gonna put it back in that thing that I found it, and I'm gonna wrap it up and
Okay.
put it in a bag somewhere, put it in a pocket, or if somebody wants, if somebody indicates they want it, I'll hand it over. But either way, we'll take it.
Okay.
Celine's gonna give the water and cookies to Shalon.
Does my voice sound better now?
Yes.
Way better.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, so basically what I was trying to say is the piece of paper that almost looks black and brittle in my hands, I put down like as delicately as possible on the table so it's out of my hands, and then I like accept the like the treats from Celine and kind of just like nod but kind of keep quiet. Is the purple of the eyes of the thing that I saw similar to the purple of the prism?
Yep.
Okay.
Can we ask friend if they recognize the scale? If it looks similar to the big thing.
Yeah, the one little one the one spider that is chilling on Quoven kind of like scurries down and gets close to the hand and like looks at it and then like scurries back up and just like kind of whispers because I feel like the other one thinks he's on watch, you know, the full body, so they're not gonna like yell out.
Yeah.
And so you just hear like voice like really quiet. It's just like looks like the big thing that makes stuff really bright or really dark.
All right. Okay. This is get somewhere. It's scary.
Is this just to Quoben or is this to all of us?
Yeah, Coben will like share it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shalon will just kind of like in like a half whisper be like, beware the darkness. And like be just kind of distantly still not helpful beyond that, but knowing that sounds familiar.
Is that the part of what you witnessed, this warning?
That's really all I got from it. It felt like I was just in a room that was just only darkness. I've never seen darkness like that. Except for a little bit of purple. Like eyes. But I think it just seemed like a warning.
Feels like we might have to go out to this mountain.
Taylor, how did we kind of talked about it earlier. How do those Myers work again? Because I feel like one of my Myers is imposter syndrome. And
What a great Meyer.
right? And I feel like Celine is like super feeling that right now. You know, like none of this sounds like anything that Zorfax has been telling her, but she's been a part of all this, and like she didn't really know of anything like super like possible like normal dangers, but nothing like this. So she's just feeling really like, oh my god, so unprepared. What is this? Like, you know, just like very out of place. And you know, she's supposed to be answering questions, like she's leading new friends like into this thing, and she just feels like really just like unsettled, especially by not having her like mentor there as well.
Yeah. So Myers, it says every character has a set of 3 Myers chosen during character creation, whatever. Your Firefly will usually tell you when to mark a Meyer in response to an event you're caught up in, something you're forced to do against your better judgment, or as a consequence of discovering or witnessing something truly disturbing. Here are examples like when it's the death of a member of your crew or whatever. You kind of like add on. Essentially, whenever your character experiences the horrors of the sea or turns to savagery when civility would do, mark a box of Meyer. So as soon as your Meyer box is marked, it'll start having an effect on your character. Some of these are mechanical, tangible, defined. Some of them are left more up into your interpretation. So if one box is marked, let hints of your condition bleed through into your roleplay. Perhaps you shy away from choices that would usually be easy, or bring the effects of the mire into a description of a related action. If both boxes are marked, the mire should be at the forefront of your roleplay when possible, informing your choice of words and actions. Things you'd usually be able to do might be impossible. So the mechanical effects, so the effects aren't merely narrative either. When you try to act in a way that contradicts a mire, you automatically cut a number of dice equal to the amount of marks on that track. So if you think this is a moment of where they're kind of like feeling it and kind of seeing the horrors kind of vibe, then like you can fully mark a mire. I think that is like fully acceptable, and I thought it was very fun to start adding some of those things in. That would just mean then later on you now have to make a decision. You're going to take one cut because you have one in that imposter syndrome that it's like, should I am I really like we're going to start kind of second guessing essentially.
I'll be honest and say it's kind of I'll go ahead and mark one because very much like she's probably like pacing around, just like also probably like re-looking at things that we've already looked at, really just trying to absorb like anything, but it's not really working, still being really confused. So probably a bit more fidgety than the usual.
Okay. Then she'll kind of look around, a little fidgety, recover from the whispers. Is this kind of the end of the investigation for the night? Do y'all want to like call it and kind of cut to heading to the mountain?
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Well, we don't get another moment with Skrilla and Glork.
Well, we sleep at Skrilla and Glork's, right? And then in the
I was
morning
gonna
we go
go-
to the mountain.
Yeah.
That's right.
I just wanted to say
We
their
can work them
names.
in. We can work them into what I'm about to say.
Oh my god. They make the exact same snacks that you already had.
It's just cookies and water. That's the only
There's
thing
cookies
here.
and water sitting by each one of the like little futons they've built up for or made up for y'all. You see like the there's two of the futons that are like very thick, like almost like emergency blankets, like puncture proof
Yes,
kind of blankets.
they were prepared.
They were prepared, and you go.
It'd be a cool like little beat here is if they all smelled differently. So it's not like your family had all these blankets. They like went around all the neighbors and got stuff. Like, wouldn't that be cool?
Yes. I love it. Yeah, and then I think like we'll say Glork is still up just so we can say his horrendous name again. As you'll show up and you have friend with you, and he's like, we need to make another bed, huh? Okay, hold on. And you're like,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. The more the merrier. You know how long it's been since we've had company? Well, about as long as it's been since you've called. Hey, anyway. And he just like keeps going.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Dad coming in from the rafters with that people's elbow.
Ow.
Um,
It hurts worse when it's from Glork.
Glork, why?
Glork, why? Taylor, you gotta stop this. Stop hurting me emotionally, verbally in TTRPGs. She did this a few weeks ago. Fucking hate
I've
it.
got to have a your mom joke, and now I've done a dad joke. I'm really doing good with them.
Quit being my parents or affiliated with my parents. Stop.
I did kill your parents the other day too.
Yeah.
Fuck
They
this.
were
I gotta
old.
go.
It
I gotta
wasn't
go
traumatic.
somewhere.
They were just old. But you all go to sleep. It's pretty restful for everyone except for Shalon, and not because you're not comfortable. You're comfortable enough with this blanket, and they've definitely made sure to have room for you. But You start to sleep, and you're nice and comfy, and you're like, kind of the cookies and water have really like helped calm some of those nerves. As then you have a dream, and in this dream, you are walking through a corridor. It's very small, very dusty, very old. You can see the kind of roots and trees and bits kind of growing up all along it as you walk, and you almost like instinctually know where you're going as you start to take a left, take a right. About this time, Celine, you start having a dream where you're walking through a corridor, very dusty, has these vines and roots, and you run into each other. And it's one of those things where it's like a dream where it's like you really can't like you know you want to say something, but you can't really like make the words as you look at each other, and just both of you know to turn down another hallway and start going. And then there's this large doorway that has this carving on top that is that same kind of reptilian looking creature with the spiky scales going all around it. And these spiky scale patterns continue all the way down the side of the doorway. And as you walk in, it gets dark and darker and darker, and you can't see anything. You can just feel each other next to one another as you stop in the middle of the room. And Shalon, the same thing. You see an eye and then another purple eye, and they come in, and you can both feel this hot breath as it is like clearly looking down above you, down on it. And you feel this exhaustion. Both of you feel exhausted, you feel lost, and you feel hungry. Like there is something that you have lost. There is something that you so desperately want, and you cannot rest until you find it. The eyes blink. You both jolt up. The sun starting to peek above the Wildsea as you see the sun kind of coming into the room. I feel like probably the first thing, we'll say it's like a little loft, because that feels like a very hippie house thing. Like y'all are up on this loft, and you probably look down and see Skrilla like doing yoga on their front porch or something.
You know, moth yoga.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we both sit up, then I feel like if everyone else is sleeping, we will probably notice that we both woke up around the same time and almost do that thing of like,
Yeah.
you were in my dream, but like physically, or just like I was dreaming about you.
Did you have the same dream that I did?
With the darkness and the black, the purple eyes?
And the hallways?
Hallways.
Uh,
Did that seem like a temple?
I think so.
Oh, that's where we're going.
That was really real.
You know, I think when I first saw it, it was okay, because it was, at least it was only me, but now you know too. And I don't, seems like we're going into something big.
Mm. I don't really know what to do about that. I don't know what to do about anything.
Brend kind of stretches on like the little pillow they laid on and slept. And gets up. You just kind of see the little mask look over at y'all. Do kind of like tilt his head.
I think the second that that friend starts looking towards us, Shalon kind of puts on a brave face again because, like, I don't know, friend seems like something they want to protect, and it's new and tiny and like doesn't know who it is. So, like the second friend kind of turns towards them, kind of say like, "Did you sleep well?"
Mm-hmm. I did. I haven't had one of these before. Kind of squishes it. Do you think your family would let me keep it?
A bed?
Yes.
I think so.
There's a little like hurrah. 75 sons and I got a bed.
Friend.
Hmm.
When you're not awake, so when one sun turns into another sun, and you kind of you have a moment of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see things?
I mean, sometimes if some of me isn't fully asleep yet or they sleep with their eyes open, then I can kind of see around me. That's weird.
Is there ever a time where all of you have your eyes closed? Then do you see things?
I mean, sometimes. One time I saw that I was on top of one of those big things and like points up to like the sky. The things that have the wings like you do. And then I got to like fly around in the sky.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
This might be doable one day if you want.
No.
Well, I mean, all of us are crew on that ship, and I'm the captain, the captain herself. So, if you ever wanted, I think I'm qualified to say that you're more than welcome. But it's dangerous. It can be dangerous sometimes, and I don't want you getting hurt. So you'd have to know what you're getting into, and if you want later, we can tell you all kinds of stories to see if it sounds like something you want to do.
Would I have a bed?
We all have beds.
You could probably take that one with you too.
Would I have friends?
Oh, plenty of them. And sometimes you'll probably get a little sick of them, but always friends.
I'm in.
Do you want a cookie?
I feel like y'all kind of hear the chat and everyone in the room can kind of like, starts waking up to the chit chat.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry, y'all.
Like, takes the cookie, just stuffs it through the like mask.
Confirmed.
So,
Friend eats cookies.
what is this?
Friend likes cookies.
What is this thing we're going after in the mountain? Do we know? Do we know what we're going towards?
Shalon will kind of look at Celine for confirmation, just because again she's shocked that somebody else has seen the same thing she's seen now.
Blaine, this question's asked, and in your head, you just remember the queen.
Can I say it?
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know if I could say it. Yeah, she'll just repeat, like, she'll kind of like have a moment of like about to think and be really like doubtful of like what it was, and then just kind of go, the queen.
What? Is it the queen?
I think so.
Oh.
Yes. That's what my head said.
Your queen?
No, the queen.
The queen of what?
I only got 2 words, not more.
Okay. Okay. All right. So royalty, right? Yeah. Okay. My people had kingdoms and queendoms. So okay.
But
What
I
else
also
is this?
I also saw the thing that Shalon saw. The big. We got
Queen
lizard
Pops
vibes,
into your
right?
head again.
Wait, what?
Darkness with
The
purple
queen pops
eyes.
into your head again as you say the.
Oh. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the queen. The big thing in the darkness is the queen. Oh.
Okay.
I imagine it feels weird to have just something being like blah blah blah, like in
Yeah.
your head. It's just like, whoa.
Like all of a sudden these whispers are unlocking that you didn't even know you had. Like they are very clearly from a past, like whatever it's called that the Mothrin go through.
Mm.
But I definitely think that we'll have to deal with the queen when we go to the temple.
Okay. So the two of you have seen something. Are we? Do we have a plan, or are we gonna go and kind of figure it out? I'm good with either. I just want to. If there is a plan, I'd love it if you shared it with me. And if there's no plan, that's fine too. I assume just get it over with then.
Zorfax is usually the plan guy.
I think the plan is go to the temple, return the prism, avoid the dark and the queen, and get back alive.
That sounds good.
More what not to do than what to do. You know? One of
Yeah.
those plans.
I like that. That's a list of things I want to have happen. Okay.
And we have the scale too, right? We didn't leave it at Zorfax's.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, we
about
did.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we it seems like we have 2 really important puzzle pieces, even if we don't know the puzzle.
That feels accurate, that statement. Yeah. I guess
yeah.
Yeah, let's roll out.
Celine will grab plenty of water and cookies from her parents before we leave. Like
Skrilla's like packing them up for you. Okay, I'm gonna pack enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half 4. It's those little guys staying with us.
I think they're coming with.
Okay, 4 and a half. And she's like packing up. You do see like, as Fred gets up and like scurries off, there's like a cookie left on the pillow. Like it did not somehow get digested by the
Yeah,
thing.
it needs a big pile of
It
naps.
just
is what
went
it needs.
through.
Yeah. That's so good.
That's not- He's like,
Celine does
right.
not see.
More cookies for us.
I'll be back.
okay, well, y'all be careful with whatever it is you do, all right?
Of course. I promise we will do our best, and I'll bring Celine home safe to you.
Y'all have a very weird energy, and I don't think I'm gonna question it because it's gonna make me more worried. So I'm gonna say I'll see y'all for dinner, maybe tomorrow.
Perfect.
I'm gonna pick
That's
up
a
that
good
big
bet.
weapon that's been leaned up next to their front door this whole time. I was like, you got it.
Subtle.
All right.
Walk out the door.
I have a huge tomb hammer on my back.
Yes.
Casual.
We'll be back for dinner, cookies, and water. Be perfect.
I can make more than cookies if you want.
What? This whole time you've only made me cookies. No.
That's
My
all you've
whole
ever
childhood
asked for.
was
You're
just
very
water
picky.
and cookies.
Suddenly I bring friends over and you've got a menu?
Can't believe you, Mom.
Let's
All
go in
right,
the
bye.
dungeon. Let's get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Skrilla.
right.
Bye, Glork.
I think Glork is now doing the yoga as well, but in like
Ah.
really, really short moth shorts and just like stretching and like soaking in the sun. He's like, all right, yo. She's right. There's a weird energy. Good luck.
That's Glor's for you.
You'll have to
Good
teach
old
us.
Lord.
for you.
You'll have to teach us yoga when we get back, so we can fix our energy.
Moth yoga.
Good idea. Good idea. You
I
know
only
what?
know. I
I'm gonna
only
go
know
find
ship
some
yoga.
records.
Ship yoga.
We can trade know-how.
That's right.
All right. Y'all back up. Grab your stuff. Grab your friend. Make it down. There are Crayola marks all over the top of the deck.
Damn it.
As Enos and Kalanch are just like scrubbing it. Like Paul, the water collector. I only wrote down 3 crew members' names. There are more people. We just only refer to these 3.
I remember Paul. I remember Paul.
He's like still like you can see he's like real like he's in a good mood as he's like closing up some bins. He's like, we got a little bit of rain last night and there's lots to do this morning. We've got water finally, y'all. Be happy when you have stuff to drink. You've been giving me shit. You're welcome.
We all just got a lot of water from. Never mind. It's so very excited to have water back on the crew again.
Like
Those
we
cookies that I smell?
yeah.
We all like
Like,
hide our little water
Sharing my
bottles.
water, but you're not sharing your cookies.
We can give him a cookie. I'll give Paul my cookie. I'm okay with
I don't
that.
want your pity cookie. He storms off.
Here, you bested friend here for some cookies, and you've earned them through combat. Friend can't even eat them. Please, they'll go to waste. Eat the cookie.
That seems worse. It seems worse than the pity cookies.
I'm gonna
Had to
drop it
beat
in
up
the
a
water
child
unless you
for
eat
this.
it.
But you take off. And yeah, we'll kind of fast forward as we make it. Y'all are kind of going through the Wildsea here. You even very conveniently are able to hop on a little bloom tide made from all of these fallen leaves, and it looks like it's almost gathered in the kind of wake pattern of whatever that creature was that came last night, as they've all kind of settled, as very clearly at some point it zoomed back this way, and so you're able to get a little bit of a speed as you're able to follow, kind of ride this bloom tide, leaving town and heading towards the area. I think anyone in their posts down below find it relatively easy. I would assume that at least Shalon and Celine would be up in kind of the helm, since they have the 2 different charts to try and like compare them together to find like the right place you'll need to go, which at this point, being this close, is very, very easily said. And you start going, and you're getting a little closer to the area that you believe to be over this mountain. And as you do, first thing you notice is like the wind has definitely picked up, and everything is, like not anything too wild or crazy or anything, but it is starting to pick up, and it seems a little, hell, for lack of better terms, like when you're standing on a mountain, it's just gustier. It seems like there is some sort of, even like the trees themselves have kind of come up in a little bit of a peak, while this mountain itself is not like tall enough to poke out and make a island by any means, but you can see that they've kind of grown up, and you're starting to get that feeling and can see it as you are getting closer and closer here. Is there any last little preparations y'all would like to make while kind of free about on the ship?
And we
like bring torches? Is that a thing? Do we have light sources we can bring?
Yeah, I would say probably not torches. I feel like y'all would probably have more like glow stick kind of vibes, or like, you know, some lantern lights of sorts. You know, you still have some like light bulb kind of
There's a group that has like
things made.
fireflies that they like keep
Yeah,
in
yeah.
jars and stuff like that. So maybe like somewhere on the ship we have some like lanterns full of fireflies that we like
Yeah, that's cool. I
feed
like that.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. I don't know if y'all ever caught fireflies as a kid, but it's a gruesome day the next day. So
Mhm.
we do something else to keep those fireflies alive, folks. It's a humane.
There's like a firefly room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a humane
Do not let
firefly
friend in there. Do not
nursery.
let
Yeah,
friend
that's
in that
right.
room.
That's right.
He's like, mmm. If he had a tongue, he'd be licking his lips.
Right. Yeah, I think that Colbin typically hangs out on the deck, like near the front of the ship, looking down or whatever, like kind of like seeing our way ahead, and if he sees anything, he kind of like tries to signal to the people who are running the boat,
Okay.
kind of deal.
Something in particular I'm looking for, but I can't find. Nope, it's not in that. Y'all, I just got to pump. One, this game is just such a cool setting and so amazing. But this book, y'all, it's so good. It's just so pretty. I was trying to prep for this, and I was like flipping through to like read the certain things I wanted to remember, and then I would get distracted for about 30 minutes, like reading or just looking at other images.
Yes.
That's why is it so pretty?
Yeah, there's some killer art,
Mm.
even in the quick start section.
Yep. Yep.
And they add color, and then it's just like,
I feel like early on in the Kickstarter, like it wasn't going to be color, like, and then just because it killed it, now it's all full color and beautiful, and I'm like, yes, it's so good. Okay, so yeah, you kind of gather your firefly lanterns. You make sure you have your equipment on you and everything as y'all are getting kind of closer to the area itself, and this wind is picking up more and more, and I think all of you, Celine and Shalon, would feel first this very intense draw, like this just like string almost pulling that like feels downward, but you feel that same kind of like desperation, that same kind of lost feeling, that like you're just what you're looking like, you just have this feeling of like what I'm looking for is there. And then I think Taryn and Quoban, you start to feel that kind of like desperate anxiety vibe, that like kind of like you don't have a frame of reference for what it really is. It's just kind of that like, okay, let's go, like, why are we just sitting around? You know, you're starting to feel that kind of like jitteriness of like, let's go, as this wind is picking up more and more, and you're starting to notice even the crew is acting a little odd, like they're starting to kind of feel a certain way too, that they're just not quite acting the same way. As then you can see like a little bit of a sprinkle kind of starts to come down out of the clouds.
I think we should
that
go.
makes navigation easy. What were you gonna say?
I was saying I think we should go.
Towards it.
Yeah. Mm. It's worrisome, but I think so.
Seems like the queen is giving us a welcome.
Maybe. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah. You? You're okay.
This is what Zorfax said we were gonna do, so. Yeah.
Too bad he isn't here to guide us through it, but here we go. And she'll, if we haven't already like landed, she'll like steer the ship to kind of help park it and
Okay. Yeah,
As
so
we're heading towards that spot, I think I'll like turn to Frank, your character, and I'll say, "I've been meaning to ask, what happened to this guy Zorbin that they keep talking about?"
I think he's helping us with some. He stayed with the pirates.
Why do we leave him with the pirates? Oh my god, we have a perfectly useless captain we could have left with the pirates.
Don't talk about Shallow that way.
No, you know what I
that's
mean.
not what he said, and you know it.
Lunch is just like, what? Like, he looks even more emotional than he normally does. And you see, like, little aloe vera tears just coming out of nowhere.
I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were. I thought
No,
you
you
were
were here.
taking
You
care
hung
of the
out for like
chakras.
3 months straight. I told you all about my mother.
Well, and I told you were supposed to take care of that chakras down there. Damn it. Oh, all right. We'll talk about it later. I'm so sorry. I get my.
He's always emotional, but it is very clearly like a new
Damn it.
level happening right
Damn
now.
it. Damn it.
As then
He
you can like
trusted
hear
you.
Paul like cussing up a storm even more. That like, I should have got more barrels. Now it's raining again and we're missing out on more water. But like really angry. Like everyone's emotions are very heightened for some
Oh,
reason
yeah, good.
currently.
Boy.
Good.
So y'all are currently up on the Thrash. We have kind of talked about how your ship can kind of like get down into the tangle a bit. Do you want to try and like delve down and get a little closer into the trees to try and figure out where you need to go?
Yup. I
It's
got
like
it.
it's like my specialty is doing this. So yeah, if I
Cool.
if I could help with that.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. If y'all both wanna roll, because I think Quobin's kind of a clearer, and then Terran's kind of the engine operator, the actual ship.
Yeah. So to like find our path, it would be, I think, tides, right? Tides and hacking. And I've got like my trailblazer aspect that I think would be really cool, of like increase impact when finding routes and clearing paths through the vegetation.
Okay.
Would that all work?
Yeah. Go ahead and do that one first. We can kind of get a trailblaze, and then we'll have Terran go for the actual kind of like operating of getting
Okay.
through it.
How do I so using the aspect, is that I'm gonna roll and the aspect just boosts the impact kind of deal? Is that the
So you can use that as let's see. Which one was it again?
I was gonna use Trailblazer, which is like one of the hacking ones, where I increase impact when finding routes and clearing paths through the vegetation.
Ooh, increase impact. Yeah, does that mean you get an additional thing?
Or maybe like
Like
upgrades me
impact
from
in this. Yeah.
like maybe it's like, well, I don't know. I was gonna say that maybe increase impact could be like I go from like a mixed success to a success, or from a success.
Yeah,
to
that's what I
a-
was trying to say. Yeah, if it was like a difference between that. We'll go with that because that's more fun currently.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead
Love
and
it.
roll your normal things and then the impact of it.
Okay, cool. I'm rolling 46 now. We're in good zone. Ooh, okay. So that's a 6, 2, 2, and a 3.
Okay. And then Taryn, will you go and roll what you would like as far as the actual mechanical sense of it and like aiding essentially and getting y'all in the right direction?
So for sure tides, probably, gonna like, scavenge or repair to like get this piece of junk roll. So yeah, that is a 4 pool.
Okay.
Going. Yeah, 6 and a twist.
Nice. Okay. So as y'all are going, and we'll say, Shalon and Celine still kind of up at the helm there, watching and kind of steering, and in communication with Tara down below. Y'all are able to kind of cut a path and dip down into the tangle itself. This is still very much, there's bits of it that you can still see some sky, and a little bit of that drizzle is still coming down, but for the most part, you're getting further and further into the actual branches here and seeing less and less of the outside world, essentially. And Quoben, as you are, kind of, we'll say like you maybe have like a post up in front that is very helpful for kind of this trailblazing and making sure the actual like chain saws and everything are going properly and helping guide where you can. You start, as they're starting to go down, and you will say at this point you'll probably maybe have made like a copy of these like charts to see where you're going. You're kind of looking at it, looking at what you can see down here, and you are definitely starting to notice as you are kind of going deeper that you do see some ground peeking through. Like you can see a mountainside, which is something, unless you've been on an island, probably really haven't seen in a while. You can see bits of rock and stuff that look like they've been kind of broken off and shoved in different directions from this like verdancy that took over. And you're following through, and I think you're probably having to dodge some of these actual like boulders and chunks of this mountain that have been like ripped off. And so Taryn's able to kind of listen and get y'all past all of these without any sort of issue. But you're not seeing any sort of actual civilization really until you notice like a little light, then another little light, and it's like fireflies. And you can see that you're getting very, very close to a opening. But seeing as we have 2 twists currently, y'all are trucking through perfectly fine. You are able to see this opening ahead of time because of these fireflies, and with your successes that you're able to slow down the ship itself so you don't just like rocket into open space. That would be very hard to recover from. And as you stop, and I say, Taryn, you probably like walk up and you're like kind of looking, and you can see these little flashes of light, and maybe there's a bit of a light on the front of y'all's ship itself, and you can start to see now what looks like actual like chiseled stone bits and stuff in some of the actual branches and root systems that have kind of pulled apart. But you then hear a creaking, and not Shalon walking on the deck creaking. It sounds like from the side of y'all. And you kind of look as you see like this vine grow over the window that y'all are looking at and kind of squeeze. And then it just kind of stops. And then up above, y'all can see the same thing as these vines and branches just kind of like grow and coalesce and just kind of hug the ship. And it seems like once they've kind of grown around and have hold, they stop. It's not like actively like trying to squeeze or anything, but there's just some sort of rapid growth that is just taking over the area where your ship is now, and kind of the hole your chainsaw has dug through.
Okay.
It's not like stopping us, is it? It's just kind of like
I mean, it is, but y'all had to stop because you're getting to you're basically about to leave the tangle, and what's below, there's nothing that your ship can really, like, cut through. It's kind of open air and roots, as like, and some branches and stuff. There's not enough for your ship to go. So y'all kind of had to stop before you rocketed into empty space. But in that stopping, things have kind of grown back into place and
I
even
got
taken over your space.
Just
Okay.
helping us dock. That's fine. Right? I like, so Quoben said that he's always kind of on the front of the boat. Or well, actually, right now, are you still there?
Yeah. I think that's like that's probably how he like communicates to the people in charge of the rudder and the saws and all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, here's what I'm seeing directly in front, kind of deal.
Shalon will kind of give that look of, like, knowing that you're the hacker of the group, kind of look to you with like a, like,
Yeah,
is this
yeah. So
something
Taylor,
that
this is not like normal, right? For the vines to grab a ship
Like,
like
they'll
this.
yeah, like, they'll grow back and fill up spots after a bit of, like, things being cut through. That's the way y'all are able to still continuously travel. But
Yeah.
it's usually not so fast that you have stopped and immediately it's like,
I think
Okay.
this is rapid.
Yeah, I think Shalon is kind of like almost wondering, like, if you hacked through something right now, how, like, would it grow back again, or is this like new vines coming up from underneath, or is this just gonna keep happening?
Yeah, I think that, like, narratively, the way I would probably experience that, like, you've probably seen this in a bunch of like anime or movies or whatever, where it's like a character who is a veteran in this way is surprised by a vine, and he probably just like, what, and like just instinctively grabs his blade and just like hacks off a limb of it without even like considering the consequences. Like, that's strange. I should get rid of that one thing, not even realizing that the rest of the ship may have been grabbed already, right? Like, it's the one that got close to him. So maybe can we handle it that way, Taylor, where it's like, like one got kind of close to him. It's not huge or anything like that, but he like whacks at it, and then you can kind of see what the response is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, you kind of whack at it and chunk over that bit of the branch. And I mean, where you've cut, it is like nice and severed and everything. But
Yeah.
after a bit, you see another like bit of tree branch kind of grow its way over the side. So it's not necessarily like
Not fighting.
regrowing. Yeah, it's not like a salamander's tail coming back, but like
Right.
it is still responding to, I have been cut off, I'm gonna refill, kind of.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Okay.
Do I like this sound? Does this sound like kind of familiar with, like, you know, what Zorfak said with like the prism and stuff? How, like,
Definitely. I mean, the prism was removed and there was instant plant growth, you know? And so it seems like maybe whatever's happening here is still just so fertile. It's like still just in that repair mode, growing back super fast.
I think we'll be okay if we get the prism back to its spot.
You can tell Shalon is conflicted about having her, like, having the ship that she's so accustomed to all of a sudden look like it's getting swallowed by all of these. And like, she'll probably try to be like swatting away at stuff that's like trying to grow over the wheel for a little bit and realizing it's not gonna work. So putting the prism back will reverse all of this.
I think so. That's what I've been told, at least.
Okay. So we go in there. We go in there, we fix this, we get the ship back, and you know, just fight darkness or the queen of darkness. Right? Maybe the two of them are the same. And kind of just like starts making her way like towards the front of or I guess the direction that we can start to see the approach of the temple and land.
Alrighty. Again, for kind of just time's sake, it is thankfully pretty easy to traverse because of this massive growth. You know, there are bits of the vines and the branches with these rocks that, you know, you can kind of step on, climb about, and get off of the ship, and then also continue kind of through the trees. And I mean, this is a very, you know, for the scavenging crew, usual. Y'all dip down in here and get into ruins down in like the lower bits of the canopy pretty frequently. That's where the good shit is, you know. Probably very different for Celine, never really like having to get in here and seeing this space. And I mean, the trees are alive. You can hear like the locusts, you can see the fireflies. There's like little animals and stuff scurrying around. Like it is very much like a forestry biome when it comes to some of these different animals and such. And as you make your way through, like I said, you're now starting to see, as y'all are kind of one by one walking across these branches and such, that there is like earth on your left side now. And like you can almost like even touch it, and there is like dirt, you know, it is rock and dirt, and this is the mountain, and you're now almost on these like vines and stuff kind of going around it. And after, you know, just a bit, you start to notice on this rock wall some carvings. Are symbols, odd symbols. Probably none of y'all really know, except for Celine. You just like instinctively kind of know them as like trail markers. And it's, you know, kind of counting down, and then you come around this curve and kind of like opens up just a little bit in the way of this plant growth and stuff has kind of like encompassed around this stone temple. And you can see like it looks old in the way that it's very dusty and it's been torn apart and kind of wrecked, but it kind of looks old in the way of like the Last of Us buildings look run down. Like shit happened to it 20, 30 years ago. It looks old and bad now, but it doesn't look as old as I think most of y'all maybe were expecting. You know, like it definitely is this was made and probably last like 60 years, you know, kind of vibe of where, with it being such this like story that like Celine is just so enraptured by, and this tale of her people, it really puts into perspective their short lifeline, like lifespan here, that it's like, you know, every 10 years is a new generation that doesn't remember anything from 2 generations before that, you know.
That's ancient to me.
Yeah, that is very ancient, you know. That's like 3, what's it called, reputations ago. But you see the symbol, and immediately for both Shalon and Celine, this is the same artwork, or like the same rock work. These are the same vines. These are the same roots. Like you see this entrance and you can almost like envision your path. For Taryn and Quoben, not having these like visions or anything yet, but that feeling of like, let's go, anxious, is almost like intensified as you kind of like, it's kind of like that you're at the end of the race and you see the finish line, kind of like, oh my god kind of feeling. As y'all are able, it looks like, you know, you have to do a little bit of climbing down and maneuvering, but you can easily get to kind of the front porch, like that front step into a doorway that seems to go into this temple. Before we start delving in, is there anything anyone wants to do while on the outside?
Just make sure we have the PDS and probably the scale. I guess I'm gonna keep those on me. Can I see if they're having like, if I pull it out right now,
Mm-hmm.
does it push back the vines from the mountain.
Yeah, the scale or like the actual prism.
The prism.
Yeah, so you take out the prism and you still see that same kind of energy drain. And I think, yeah, as you get closer to some of these like smaller vines and stuff, they do kind of withdraw. But it's like the bigger ones and like the trunk that you're on don't move at all. It's just kind of these smaller, like, they just kind of get away. Though all of you hear this deep, deep rumble from somewhere within the temple. Is Friend with y'all? Or are they on the ship?
I was thinking friend was with us.
Okay.
Unless they were.
And they're probably still just like hitching a ride on you. You know, they're not scared of the
Yeah,
barbs. They can just
they're
maneuver
just
around
eating
them.
all the gnats that I walk through.
Yeah.
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 Slowly getting
They're
more
just
and more
like-
mats.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yep, we're home.
Are you okay to be here? Would seeing your former selves be upsetting to you?
Not really. I think I'm more concerned they try to make me stay, but I'm hoping the other parts of me that don't want to be here might come back with me.
Okay, let's focus on that. And I am going to put on my iris blossoms again,
Okay.
so I can start to see in this darkened area.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, currently, you know, there's like little creatures and little bugs and things that are popping up currently, but nothing too crazy wild yet. As y'all start going in. Anything else? Or are y'all gonna step into this temple?
Can I look and see just really quickly if there's anything regarding the queen on like the outside, like any kind of identifiers or things
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, I think you look around the outside and you can see that the pattern on the kind of frame of this doorway is those same kind of scales that make like a little Art Deco pattern almost going all the way up and curving. And then at the top, you see the little D8 like prism carved into the very apex of the door.
Just kind of being like reassured. It's like, this is it.
And Shalon too will kind of see that you look a little like you need that reassurance and say, technically we do already know the way.
True.
So and we have all the pieces. So we'll be okay. I'll lead.
Sure.
All right. And I start leading down the hallway that I have experienced in my dreams.
Right. So you'll kind of follow as Shalon leads the way. And it is, yeah, this very dusty, you know, little sections. It's like you even like step on some of the stone and like little bits of it gives away, not like terribly far. It's still built on solid ground, but as it's been kind of just like picked up and the roots and everything under it has changed, little bits kind of give away. And it's the further you get into the temple itself, the quieter it gets. You don't hear the skittering of the little squirrels. You don't hear the cicadas. And almost all you can hear is just y'all's footsteps as you keep going through. And I'll say that with the exception of you start getting in and it's been a little quiet and you're following the same pattern that you did in your dream, and you turn. It's like you don't even really have to super think about it. And you hear something like skitter along the wall really fast. You'll kind of like look, you don't catch anything immediately. And you keep walking, and then you see another one or hear another one. You're like, what? And then I think Probably Quoven. I don't know, spiders emit heat. I tried Googling it. It did not help me.
I'm willing to
You
bet that they
see,
are a lot like their background, right? Like
right?
insects and arachnids and all that kind of stuff. It's not like they're warm-blooded,
Yeah, that was
right?
my thinking, you know?
Yeah, so like I'm okay with me not being able to see them because of my thermovision. Like
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. Like maybe I
yeah,
see them because of normal vision, but I don't see them because of
yeah,
the thermal stuff.
yeah. No, I think that just being on kind of the lookout and then at the same time having a friend on you, there's a little like a bunch of little gasps from inside. I'm just like, oh, you know, as you can see, like a mound of darkness, not like darkness like y'all know, just like much darker than the ground, kind of move through some cracks. And then I think, Taryn, you're starting to hear like that whisper again of like a different frequency. And you're used to friend now, but this is like friend remixed. It's just a little different. Getting kind of louder and louder.
I have electric and magnetic fields would do it. I have ritual mask. I can see spirits, echoes, and the spectral realm.
Ooh. Okay.
I get a vibe of the area where friend X is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you you do this. And you do see some weird kind of spiritual footprints. You see almost like you know, like the theory of ghosts now like being in that like echo, that like loop of just like reliving a certain like moment kind of thing. And you see a lot of those up in the like upcoming like T of this walkway, as you see like a individual that is like very clearly an explorer kind of walking above like in front of where you are looking, and then just immediately gets snatched off the floor and like pulled up into nothingness. You see a couple of moth people running, and they probably not in the same exact area, but kind of nearby. You can see what looks like they kind of fall, and you can see a big rock is like a big chunk of the wall is kind of on the ground there. You don't see any bodies, but that's very clearly where these like spirits are like replaying this like death. You know, maybe a like a weird panther cat or something, even than just the same kind of like getting pulled down the opposite hallway. And so just a lot of weird vibes right there where you could you sense that frequency.
All right, well let's crack some glow sticks. Let's stay out of the dark. Let's put this D8 back.
I have to think that Shalon walked, like, probably asked you for one before we even started walking in, considering,
Yeah.
like, she knows there's darkness.
So Shalon, you're still walking forward with the glow stick, or in the front with the glow stick. Y'all are walking, and Celine, Quoven, and Taryn, you all watch as Shalon kind of hits that same area where those looping ghosts are, and you see this black mass, solid spiders just take over her leg, and she falls to the side and starts to get pulled.
Can we do something,
Guys?
Fully, what would you like to do in reaction to this?
I have 2 in leap. So I think I'll take Grace 2 in leap. And I have a something called arachnid mobility. You never cut for difficulty when climbing. Is that like applicable here?
No, probably not. I mean, depending on what you're doing, if you want to do something wild.
No, it's just getting dragged across the floor, right? All right. I'll take one of the. Did I use my
I don't think I used my.
I don't
my
think so.
special
I think
point
you
yet.
and David had one left.
Okay.
And there's
so
still
yeah,
4 in the pool.
Right.
So I'm
I
rolling
have villain
46.
points. I'll just start using those. I'll wait though.
You could just like not.
Just forget about it. You used all of them. I
Being
swear.
dragged away.
So that's a 5.
Okay, 5. Yeah, so you kind of rush up and start to, grab hold of Shalon, and you're able to stop that pull, like them getting pulled. But in the mix of all of this, some of your spiders get a little mixed up. And you just start hearing another voice within your colony
Bro.
that is just a little confusing, as then you just hear this just like hungry, 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 like whisper kind of noise going over, and it's like frantic, I guess, and then it's just like, like stranger, trespasser, hungry, like it's not full real sentences.
Can I do so? One of my aspects is barrage.
Mhm.
I think with my bow, you can deal damage to multiple distant opponents with a successful LR attack. I don't know what LR is that I
Long
wrote down.
range.
Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe like I take out my bow and just kind of like do like a super cool like three arrows knocked and just kind of like and then have them go like just to kind of like cause like disruption like in the
Okay.
mix.
Okay.
I have a 4 next to it. Is that 4 dice? I don't know about the aspects.
No, it's like you
Um,
spend it.
Yeah, you
Oh, yeah.
basically,
That's 4
so
uses.
yeah, it has 4
Oh,
uses of that
okay.
aspect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what the little things next to it are for.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's like a 4-track thing.
So what do I roll?
Okay, so I had combat up for this reason, then went away. I think it's still along the same things here of like your
With my
add
skills.
your edge, your skills and such. Yeah.
Okay.
And then just the aspect itself is giving you the option to attack multiple things.
Okay, so we'll go with iron edge. With the skills. Maybe. Oh, hunt. There's shoot under hunt. Okay, so that's that's 3 right there. So
Okay. Nice.
okay, so I have 4 dice. Here we go. Okay, double 5s, a 4, and a 1.
Okay.
5 of the
So
tallest
5
spot.
is, yeah, it's a conflict. So I think you are able to, you shoot and you get those 3 arrows kind of along this like mass within the area here. And we'll say that the twist, the potentially useful, is that this mass does kind of retreat. You see it pull back, but in the just unstable area and everything that this is, you can see as this moves, Shalon like falling, Taryn jumping on it, just how like deteriorating this building is already. There are bits of this wall starting to fall in and ceiling, and it looks like this area just that was kind of like the last straw in the back as it's about to cave in this like hallway.
Oh,
Can I run up and help them like stand back up? Okay. And then maybe like run.
yeah.
So, for Quoben's bit, Quoben's gonna kind of surge forward, and I'm gonna pick up friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, friend, it is time to be brave. It is time for you to win over some of your past self. And can you help me do that as I'm like taking them to this mass?
Yeah. Yes. I can do it. I can talk to them.
We're gonna do a little at a
Yes.
time. You're not gonna talk to everybody at once, just a little at a time. We've got to get everybody up and got to get moving. And I would very much like to help them
Okay.
with grace and negotiate.
Okay.
And the way I'm gonna do that is by making it so that I'm asking them to do a hard thing, but I'm gonna try very hard to not have them address too many agents, things at once. And I'm gonna try and block and tackle the size of the thing they gotta address so that they have a better shot, right? Because I don't know how to talk spider. I just know how to I know how to set up a negotiation a tiny bit for success.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it's all a helping thing, so we'll get the advantage as y'all are kind of tag teaming this. You can have the advantage from friend themselves.
Okay, cool. So do I need to roll anything, or is this really like a friend roll and they're getting an advantage?
I will say you.
Sure.
And then give you the advantage just because I don't have stats for friend.
1000%. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna look real quick. Can I also mark? No, I was gonna say maybe I could use wild words here in an aspect, but it feels a little reachy.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. So I've got a bonus for grace, and I've got a point in negotiate. So I think that's 2d6 plus an advantage.
So 3d6. We also have 4 in the fate pool, and you still have yours.
Yeah, I want to use mine. I want to use mine. So that's a 4d6.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I will use mine. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, kids. That's a 4 and 3 2s.
Okay. So we've got a success with a drawback and then a twist. Oh, look at Joy's big brown eyes.
I have a quick question. I have an aspect called Patterned Sash, where you treat conflicts as successes when using social skills to affect animals. Animals. For a second, I was like, no, queen. And then I was like, no, tiny animals. Could I use that somehow right now to help?
Yeah, why not? You got rescued. You haven't actually done anything on your own in this scenario or this round yet, essentially. So yeah, you want to throw one more d6, David? See if we get something higher than a 4.
I would love to roll one more d6. Yes, thank you so much for that. That's another 4. So
Okay.
I've got 2 4s and 3 2s.
Okay. So you look at friend and they're like, you can only imagine the determination on their sourceless face as they're bobbing their head and kind of rush up and get them in this position. And you, just cause I feel like you could feel them shaking.
Oh yeah.
The whole thing is just undulating.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like,
as this mass kind of like starts moving down, and you can now fully see. I feel like anyone now, especially after picking up Shalon, can fully see like this is not a human-sized mass. This is like a room worth of spiders coming out. Like a full filled the entire room. It is insanely large, and it just does. It looks like just slime, like goop, kind of coming towards you. As I feel like you can see a little pseudopod kind of like sticks out, and he tries to like touch a little bit of it, and you watch as there's a pause for a second. And you can feel friends start to grow in size a bit as you're holding them, as it seems they are actually, gathering some of those that did want to leave. The conflict, though. Ooh. Okay. I'm a pull a Bobby thing here and give you an ultimatum, because that's
Sweet.
always fun when it happens.
I love
This
it.
is starting to cave in. You have friend. You can move out of the way. Save yourself, not have to deal with any sort of roll, kind of get out of the way. But friend's gonna be there by themselves dealing with the rest of themselves. Or you can attempt to stay with friend, see this through, but if you fail a roll, you will be separated from the party with them.
I think, yeah, I think I've thrown my lot in with this like winning over the spider hive thing, so I'm gonna stick with friend, and push my 3 friends towards whatever like stable ground there is ish, right? And tell the 3 of them like, we got this, and I'll try my best to survive what's about to happen.
Okay, so everything is starting, like, y'all see Quoben just be like, get away, like, we've got this, like, don't get hit by this, and start to kind of walk as they're going towards kind of the spider with the now like growing in size, like we're probably like preteen size now, little friend. Roll for me, Quoven, whatever you choose here, to not, basically, if you get a 6,
Yep.
you and friend are getting pulled away from the spiders, out of the wreckage. You're fine.
Okay.
And if not, you're stuck on the side of the spiders. If you fail, you're probably getting squished a bit.
Okay.
I am, because it is difficult, going to give you 1 cut.
Okay. That's
And-
fair.
Yeah.
All right. So
You can counteract that with the pool if you would like, but there is a cut on it.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like this is like an iron moment, right? And like, so there's like a bit of like shouldering as debris is falling on me, and I'm trying to not let any of my friendly spiders get squished by this, right? So I'm desperately trying to keep all these like little tiny things alive. So I'm gonna go with iron and I think maybe wave walk. Is that kind of where we're at here, where it's like the world is shifting underneath me, and like nothing is really stable?
Okay. Without the use of a ship, despite the danger, like, yeah.
Yep. And I think if I can, I'm gonna fling out my grapple chain to try and like do a desperate reach for like some sort of sturdy branch or something that will hold me and friend.
Okay.
As like the world is crumbling around.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spend my resources, my grapple chain. I don't get a lot of uses of that one, and so yeah, okay. Iron, wave walk. Would the grapple chain give me like +1 dice here?
I feel like it would, yes.
Because it's not a fine quick purchase, but it isn't. Oh, increase impact when traversing the sea. So maybe it boosts whatever I roll.
Boost. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
By one,
That's nice.
notch.
Now you need a 5 or a 6, so that helps.
Okay. Now I'm gonna lose 1 to cut.
Well, you'll still roll the same amount of dice. You'll just take away your highest one on the cut.
Oh, rough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would the crew be okay with me spending 1 out of the pool? One of the 4 that we've got?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Multiple if you need them.
No. I don't wanna drain it. Because y'all, we haven't even seen the queen yet, y'all. Like this is just soften us up. So I think that's 4. 46.
Okay.
Drop the highest, but increase my impact by 1. Come on, Google. 2 1s,
Oh, okay.
a 3 and a 6.
So it's a 4.
So it's a 4. Yeah, is what I got out of the deal.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
also mixed. Also not super
You-
clean. Yeah.
not super clean. You last ditch effort, and whatever you grabbed hold of, we'll say that conflict, it lets loose, and it just fully blocks your way from the rest of the group, as y'all no longer can see Quoven and Friend. As then Quoven, I think you kind of are now at that point having to like grab Friend, tackle, roll into this mass to avoid getting smushed by these boulders.
I'm gonna like hold on to friend and like just wiggle, get my spikes in there.
So, yeah, you know.
Okay, cool. I'm
All right.
locked in Mortal Kombat with a gigantic spider thing. This will go great.
This will be really good for you. For the rest of you, what would you like to do as you see these giant slabs of rock have fully covered your way?
Tomb hammer.
What's that?
It is a hammer that is actually very good at crushing rocks, like the ones that just happened right before us.
Okay.
So let me pull up the description really fast. Okay. As much a tool as it is a weapon, deals CQ blunt damage, increase impact when smashing stonework and structures.
This is stonework structure.
There we go.
Okay.
There we
So
go.
roll whatever you deem worthy here, or build your dice pool, and then since we'll double check on the impact, but I think it's very fun to be like it'll bump up the die level.
Um, could I use this as tides, kind of the same way as like the exploration aspect of it? Because I have tides, instinct, and well, I guess instinct is the reaction of wanting to save one of my crew members.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. And then I have break or I have strike. I'm gonna say break.
Okay, perfect.
And then, so you said it'll just add a +1 to my highest roll, basically, or?
Yeah, it'll just bump it up to the next category.
Okay.
The highest of the next category.
That is only 2.
Okay. We've got 3 in the pool still.
Okay, I think I
If
gotta
you'd
use
like
one
advantage.
of the ones in the
And
pool.
anybody else, if y'all have like some oomph, you can help like pool things and give an advantage as well.
What do I have? I mean, my stuff's all fixing stuff.
I mean, fixing a situation.
Yeah. Can I
Um,
repair the damage to our friendship? The loss of our friend.
I'm using like my bow, but I do have Deadeye, so you can target attacks precisely, such as when aiming for a weak point without cutting for difficulty. So I could maybe like shoot a crack in the rock and it breaks or something like that. I don't.
Why
or
not?
you can tell me where to hit, which would like help kind of.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe I've got it like just in case the spiders come this way. Like I have my bow up, and so I'm kind of like locked on, and I'm just kind of like, right there, and right there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. 6. 5
Ooh.
and 2 4s.
Oh, that's
Jeez
awesome.
That was the best
Louise.
roll ever.
You start slamming into this. You're looking in the exact right spot thanks to the help from Celine. And as you start like hacking away, like this stone has like seen a lot of weathering. It's pretty easy to get away. And I'm gonna say the twist is going to be as you are like you bust through this, like a chunk of the rock like flies out, hits this mass that makes it kind of retreat just a little bit, and you see it retreat away from on top of Quoben and Friend. And you can see them for a moment as Quoben, you see Shalon just with a hammer directly into the wall, just like Kool-Aid Man through to you.
Oh yeah.
My eyes are like narrow because I don't want spiders in them. My lips are sealed shut. I don't want spiders getting in here. Feels unhealthy.
It's unhealthy.
Yeah, I think at this too, like Friend starts to like move and tries to like start pushing you up and is like, okay, we gotta go. He's really bad, we gotta go. It's like scurrying towards
It's
him.
really mad.
Yay. I say we book it to the room just like as fast as we can.
Yeah.
All right,
Do-
you'll start running. You see now, Friend is about 4'5", has doubled in height and has filled out a little lanky, but filled out a little. It's about as far wide as this like burlap sack he's living in can go, you know?
Is this how like the oh, I forgot the name again. What is the name of the spider people? So
Zealocray?
Zealocray. This is Zealocray puberty. This is how it happens.
Yeah, very much.
I'm basically equating it to like Groot when he like went down back to like being a little baby Groot and all of a sudden was like the angsty teenager. And
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining in my head.
Solid.
Right. You'll start running. You're just following Shalon, who's like, you know, hammer's still out, everyone's weapons out, like, oh shit. It'll keep going. And I think, you know, keep looking back, and Taryn, you're kind of clued in. You're not hearing, the closer y'all are getting to the middle and the further, you're hearing less and less of this like whisper. So it seems like maybe either you're outpacing or they're not quite following anymore. As then y'all turn and you kind of pause for a second as you see this doorway from your dream with that same etching on top of the dragon and the scales, and inside is pitch black. And Quoben, you see probably about 10 feet up off of the ground a creature like giant in size that seems to be laid down and curled kind of around. It is very clearly by this like outline like reptilian of sort. If we were to say us, it kind of looks like a dragon kind of curled up and laid on top of a pile of something. But to you,
To find pottery and knickknacks.
maybe. You
There'll
can
be a
hear
second-
this rumble again kind of emanate out. This time you're at the epicenter, so it is like loud in your ears.
I think right before the doorway, Shalon will stop for a second and kind of like some of you might even like bump into her if you kind of like were all following like at a good speed.
Mhm.
And she'll kind of just like look at the door for a second and like just take this really deep breath. And she also has iris blossoms, so she
Mhm.
turns that on so she can see something in the room.
You see that kind of
just-
same thing as you see now this head like sits up and kind of looks in y'all's direction.
There it is. And will
There you are. Rumbles from inside.
do you know me?
Yes and no. You were here in your dreams. which means you have something of mine.
Seem like it is supposed to be yours. If you're the one that's haunting this place.
My home. I guess I do feel like a ghost in it now. It's much quieter than it used to be.
It hasn't always been your home, right? Like a moment of
Oh.
like break within like or that.
Oh, but it has. You don't remember? We've walked these halls together many, 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 many times.
I think you're thinking of someone else.
No. You all hear a kind of whisper. You hear a legit whisper. You all hear like a whistle of like a tune. And Celine, you kind of get hit with this wave of memories. And you see this room in light, but the light is coming from this dragon creature. On Roll20, I'll show y'all what it looks like.
Ooh.
That's... You remember this creature. You would, protect it. You would come and, share gifts. You'd share laughs. It seemed like a very beneficial relationship. But while they refer to this as their home, you were kind of the housekeeper, I guess. You made sure everything was in order. And you, in this vision, see there on the chest, the Prisme du Soleil was on the dragon's chest.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
Are you going to return what is mine? Or do I need to make you leave like the others?
What do you intend to do with it?
Hopefully sleep. So tired.
What happened?
You were all distracted, and creatures came. They overpowered even me. They were odd. They had mouths in places they shouldn't, and magic and smoke. They stole it from me. Then everything got dark.
Is there something I can do? Like, I mean, I know the vision thing that just happened, but like, is there something I can do to like figure out if this is like honest? Like,
Do you have something you can figure out that's honest?
Let me see.
Hey, Firefly, are we good?
Are we good?
Are we good?
I mean, like, you had visions of a mutually beneficial relationship and them not eating you, and you and all
That's
your buddies
true.
happy and laughing. So, I
That's
mean,
true.
if you don't trust that, roll something. But
It's that voice. It's that voice that's tripping.
it's the voice. It totally is.
I'd chop her head off. No, of course not.
Like, okay, so the thing again, going back to like the whispers or whatever, are those like, it is using it like getting the knowledge or
some of them.
like, okay,
So it's like, yeah, it was past and now it is not Now, the memories have been given. The whisper no longer exists. Some of them, the whispers can pass from person to person and be used in different ways. You know, there's different types.
Okay. I am going to look inward and do a quick, very rapid meditation that Skrilla, my mother, taught me. And I'm going to maybe use sense to kind of look inward and really kind of like can like tap more into that vision that I just had. See, like, because maybe like the first time is just kind of like, you know, watching like a TV, but then like really trying to connect with it, also trying to connect with like what would I just forgot everybody's name, what would Zorfax say, like, you know, like really just kind of like I don't know, get like like a Iron Man computer type thing with
Yeah,
all of it
yeah.
like floating around, you know. But yeah. So I have that's gonna be. Can I just click the wrong thing? Can that be veils? I think veils for
Yeah,
my edge.
definitely.
Sense. So that's 2. Can I outwit myself? No, that's not what that is. Maybe can I use sway as well? Because I'm trying to like convince this one. And then
there's 3 left in the pool.
I'll use if it's okay with everybody to use one more for the pool. Okay, just check.
You are also going to have 1 cut because of your Meyer.
Oh my god, my
This
imposter syndrome. It's real life. Okay, so the one for the pool is like
you still roll it. You just subtract your highest die. So you still have the same dice pool.
Shit.
You got double sixes right now.
Oh, okay.
That's a
No, I didn't get double 6s. I got double 5s, double 2s, and a 4.
Okay, so one of the 5s is gone.
So
that's
5 of the twist.
5
It's
of
not
the twist.
bad.
You think back and center in and remember before Zorfax parted with you, said you'll remember when you need to. And as you're focusing in on this, everybody notices these tattoos start to appear all up and down her arms, across her wings. You look down at them and you know what it is. And you basically take in and can read this history of the people and kind of reinforces everything of this prism. It kept something about it being in its home, kept the plants back. You were able to have fresh water. There's springs inside of this mountain. There's minerals inside of this mountain. You were able to live here, work here, gather what you needed here. The queen lives here. She very much you had this mutually beneficial relationship of you find something pretty, give to her, you keep her safe, cool, and she allows you to kind of be here. Plus she loves being doted on. I mean, she's currently letting the whole town throw ceramics at her, you know, like she loves this shit. So like having it be like a up in person thing, it's great. And you see the day that it all went to hell when these individuals that looked so much like the ones that were chasing you came in and stole this prism, the magic putting you all to sleep, and then waking to a mad dash out of the temple as it started to crumble as the plant life grew back, and the queen was pissed. this all comes back. I am gonna say the drawback is you're still gonna keep that mire, because if you would have overcome it fully, you could have cleared that mire. So you're still feeling a little, just because it's so overwhelming.
Mm.
And with that twist, I think, yeah, the queen just kind of looks at you and be like, "Do you finally remember?"
I think like if anybody's seen Lord of the Rings, like at the very end of the third one, when Frodo's like about to get on the boat to go to the Undying Lands, that smile of just like reassurance, like even if she doesn't believe it herself, she's gonna like turn back to her friends and kind of like do like one of those smiles and like hold her hand out for like the prism. And just say,
Friend now standing on his own is just like watching a movie.
just say,
Whoa.
just say, I think it's okay.
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 For
Okay.
Taryn and for Taryn and Celine, it's still pitch black in here. You know, like you just know what it is, Celine. Taryn, you're just hearing a creepy voice in a pitch black void. Like,
Nah,
okay.
man. I got multi-lens goggles. I got Pharaoh
Oh, that's
sight.
true. That's
I
true.
got
I forgot you have that.
I
too.
got spirits. I can see there's
true.
something big in here that is happy to have this crystal back.
Sure, I also have hawk sight, so maybe that could help me
Well,
see.
it's like magical darkness. It's like D&D darkness spell.
Oh,
It's
just
not
kidding.
like yeah. It is
Okay,
very
yeah.
much like created by it.
Which
You know,
that's
more
why I
than
turn
just
the
night
iris.
vision.
That's why I turn the iris
Yeah.
blossoms on instead of just assuming that the light source would work. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
all right. It's okay. I heard my friends say it's okay. It's okay.
Comes out of
As-
his stomach again.
As she
Prism goes
takes-
out.
As she takes it,
Could you explain the situation a little bit more?
she'll just like kind of look down at these like bright ass tattoos that are all over and be like,
Fair.
that might take a while. If anything goes wrong, just run and leave me here. It's fine. And then we'll just give it, put it back. Put it back
Yeah,
in.
you walk up with this prism, and you all see as like Celine disappears into this like darkness that the prism starts to glow itself and starts to emit these purple and green and blue lights, and then the you can see now the actual form and face of this queen gets closer, and then I mean it is like a magnet socket just rips out of your hand and right into her chest, where right on the chest there's kind of this hole, and you see as that light kind of goes up the tendrils of this dragon and out, where you can see now all of those scales sticking off and kind of this mane start to sparkle, and there's this burst of light like an aurora borealis that bursts out of the room and up. She just kind of sighs. All of you feel this instant relief and thankfulness. That anxiety, that desperation is gone. That exhaustion is gone. And you just feel this peace. As then you start to hear the plants breaking away and pulling back, and this movement all around you as slowly bits and bits of light, actual sunlight from the outside, this cloud seemingly gone, starts to trickle in different areas. And she's like, "Oh, thank you. I don't wish to be a bad host, seeing as you've done me such a favor, but I really need a nap."
That's fair.
And she just kind of like curls up like a dog, like doing the circles, and kind of like lays down for a second, and those lights start to kind of pulse.
Could I come back sometime?
You are all welcome, I'm sure. There will be lots of changes once this finishes, so I trust you to make sure it goes back to the way it was. Though I do like the monthly raining of treasures.
We don't have to tell anybody about that one.
Wonderful. Did you see she like cuddles her head on a pillow that like matches the one from your like parents that your like mom probably like wove herself?
Hey.
And kind of curls up. But for ease sake, y'all notice or you watch as these plants start to pull away. You can see the sunshine and you walk out of like a door just right there off of the thing that kind of goes further up the mountain as you see mountain and sky. And from this point of view, no tree at all. What is everyone kind of thinking or wanting to say before we put a little bow on this adventure?
We did it!
I think we see Quilbin like reflexively like curl away in fear
Oh.
because like the open sky is oppressive. And that's one of my minors. That's cool. I love it.
I
love
think
it.
friend
he's
kind of
happy.
like pulls.
He's happy,
Yeah,
but he ducked back just a little bit. It's like, oh shit, that's a lot. That's a lot
friend
to
kind of
take in.
pulls on your arm and is like, "Me too."
It's okay.
Should we go back to the ship?
Celebrate. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go back and celebrate with the team.
Is the rest of the spiders still around for friend to recruit whoever she wants to recruit, or is that kind of like all of them are happy in their own sense now?
Yeah. I think they're just like, I got most of them, and you know, I feel bad leaving people behind, but I think we can come back here easier now. And also, it's been a day. It's been a big 75th sun.
Well, here, why don't you celebrate your 75th son as a member of our crew on the ship?
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Then we will wrap there as you all head back to the ship. We'll say Kalanch, not sobbing anymore, has kind of taken some initiative and driven the ship back a bit so it didn't fall into the earth as the plant life started growing. He was like, oh fuck. And does kind of meet y'all at the edge and is like,
Greatness.
what happened? You know, like very confused.
We
That's
did
so
it.
We'll tell you over some cookies.
And
Paul's
water.
just like in the corner, like he gets cookies.
No, we all split the
You
cookies.
get pity cookie. Okay.
I feel like there'd be like a total movie moment too as we sit down to eat cookies where Selena's like, hey, but did I tell you guys about day 2 of the festival? And then it's like we all go back and like party with all the Mothrin and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a huge party now because now there's a giant mountain in view, and they're like,
Yes.
"What?"
That
Yes.
one guy is totally soaking it up and it's
Oh.
like, your gifts were amazing. Look what it did.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank me.
Oh, Celine
Yes.
punches him in the face. I have an aspect for that. Chaos dancing. I've
So
just like
good.
in the face.
Wailing on this priest.
Like,
I don't know
no.
very well.
It was, I guess. Alrighty, y'all. Well, congrats. You have figured out where the triangles go.
Yay!
Yay!
Did Zorfax
everyone-
die? What do you mean?
I guess we'll find out part 4. No, I'm kidding.
This is
We'll
the
talk
fun
about it later. We'll talk about it later.
We did it.
Alrighty. I guess remember everybody. Now we're raising money all month or all week long. We've got Pathfinder on the 19th, D&D 5e on the 20th, and the 21st is more Pathfinder.
Woohoo.
And we have winners. I forgot there's winners at the end of the show. Oh my goodness. Okay, so everybody that's donated $10 is entered to win. Do that for upcoming events as well. And we have the right ahead. Okay. First, for the D20 plushie, the winner is, drum roll, I don't know if it picks up on my mic, JT. Congratulations, JT.
Congrats,
Uh,
JT.
We will, I'm sure someone from the Last Caravan crew will be in contact to get that to you. For the set of D20 earrings, oh my god, it's me, but it was because a donor wanted to be anonymous and asked to give it to the DM. So whoever you are, thanks.
Thank you,
How
anonymous donor.
sweet. And then we have for the Lost Caravan coffee cup and shirt. You gotta have some swag.
And a shirt.
Hey,
Yeah,
hell
some
yeah.
swag
Congrats,
to
Frank.
rep on your next stream.
Congrats,
I'm gonna
man.
rep the caravan.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
man.
And then finally we have Avatar Legends, the thing everyone was so hyped for. Is the winner. You can look at
Turk.
Have you not even opened that giant box yet, David?
Not
I would have
yet.
ripped it open
came-
immediately.
It came in today. You know what? I wanted to do an unboxing video when it showed up, and then I was like, "Oh wow, it's this like super plain like #2 style like crappy. This will be the best unboxing
You
video
should just
ever."
like write in Sharpie like Avatar. All right. Well, thank you to all of the wonderful donors and for the sponsors and for all the fun stuff. And thank you, Lost Caravan, for putting this on to raise some money for a wonderful cause. Remember,
Yes.
every donation goes towards the Trevor Project. So put in those donations. Oh, I guess we should say everybody. Do you want to say goodbye, everybody? Go look at socials. I know it's really late. I'm sorry for you East
Totally, yeah,
Coasters.
it is related.
Everybody,
Bye,
go
everybody.
follow everybody on their socials. See what they're up to.
Yeah.
And we're gonna all go to sleep.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Go where?